It looks like we are in fact live.
We're live! Oh, welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of Ardy and Fist, the 88th episode. In fact,
Funny number, you know, for some people, funny number is 69. But hey, in case you're new here, I saw someone go, "What's the moose?" Well, our funny number is 88. What do you think of that?
Our funny number, yes, is 88. Oh, it's delightful. Oh, it's good to be back, man. Look, I tell you, I did very much appreciate the visuals on that intro, but it's a bit slow. It's a bit doomy. What did you prompt for that? Like
doom,
depressing...
doom metal, literally doom metal. That's what it was called. Yes, but requested by the fellas.
Doom, Matt. Listen, we need something more high energy, mate. Listen, I'll get in that prompt thing. I'll like prompt it some like funk or.
Hey, no one's stopping you from sending something to me. Okay.
No, that's fine. I have tons of time to prompt stuff. I'm not either like streaming or recovering from streaming. Not at all. I have so much free time.
Well, I try to get something that matches the visuals, and then whatever I have for the visuals is whatever I find online, essentially. So I try to get something that matches that.
That's like a new, like the first like full length movie that's been done on.
Yeah. So this is for posterity. Now, this stream has been around for like a year now, and AI has advanced a lot in that time. So I have to chronicle these things. So this is Higgsfield AI. We made the first 110-minute AI feature film with a real cast. So they took like Rampage Jackson's face, Israel Adesanya's an MMA fighter, 2 MMA fighters. I think a guy that does like basketball. A guy that does like basketball videos on YouTube too. So it's 100% open sourced. And I went through some of it. It legitimately looks like a decent movie. They have clearly defined characters. It cuts back and forth between different plot points. It cost them $2 million, which is wild. And they tell you exactly what they did to make it. So they are trying to get this out as much as possible. I guess I'd want to know who's behind the $2 million and then giving it away.
Oh, it'd be Higgsfield,
right? To show what it can do.
So Higgsfield are an AI company. They've got I don't know. I haven't used their engine for a while, but I imagine they fronted the $2 million to get this out because it's being tweeted from like their account, basically. I mean, interesting. They give you all the prompts. It's a full-length movie, and the AI, like the action like this, doesn't look bad at all. No.
Right? You wouldn't assume that was AI, and it's the one time where I understand using a multicultural cast by it's showing character models essentially.
Well, it's meant to be in London, so it's got to be a multicultural.
You're right. It is. I think they gave Rampage Jackson an English accent too, to like show that like or British accent to show that like.
I mean, the thing is, right? If it's a story about clashes between multiple crime groups of different ethnicities, that's totally London. That's London as fuck.
So from what I saw, because I didn't watch the whole thing, but like he's trying to be a hip hop artist, right? So it's kind of like gimmicky and silly in that respect. But then they get tangled up in this like drug deal. It's from what I've seen. And then hilarity and excitement ensues, right? And then this is what you would get from that. What I just told you, you would look at this and go, that kind of makes sense right there, right? Kind of light. There's some gore in there. Yeah, things are moving, fellas. Now, here's the thing. Now, how can we get the whites to make white movies? That is really the next step, isn't it?
Well, I mean, look, Emily Eucas is doing the race proud,
right? Holding it down,
doing the Will Stancil show, the live version. There's a guy called Bone as well who apparently has invented some like super prompt that he calls the slop cannon that can now basically do like AI music video clips. I'd play them, but they've all got copyrighted music, so
which is also. This I don't think there's anything copyrighted in it. I mean, why at this point you can get music to be generated. I'm proof of that rather easily, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
looks like a comedy action movie.
But apparently with this new so-called slop cannon,
Yes.
you can literally just basically take like a piece of music and give it a prompt, and it'll make the whole thing. It'll do all the lip syncing for you, and you just need to do like a bit of like editing in Premiere afterwards. But like it's you know, like 80%, 90% like done, which is amazing. Oh, it seems
the weird thing
so
is,
long ago.
They take 12 seconds at a time, is how they do it.
Oh my God,
nothing
that's
is
a lot
done
of
in a
games.
large chunk. So, because I was going through these, and I'm pretty sure every shot. So they are wanting to use actual people's faces instead of generating them. I think it might do have a better time with that possibly, because it has actual information to go on. But here it is. So the music never comes from the model. The track is recorded first, cut into 12-second blocks on the vocals' breaths, and each block. So apparently, what's really difficult is to have someone singing and doing lyrics, and to nail it.
I am pretty sure that K3 H3 H3 Mini, I think it's called, the new Halo model can do longer than 12-second chunks. So this is probably going to be the next big sort of goal in AI, is to extend the length of the chunks that you can do, because traditionally the longer the chunks, the more the AI starts to like lose touch with the prompt. So it's an exciting time to be alive. It's a world of slop.
So since it can't do action sequences that well, they physically filmed it on an iPhone and then had an AI digitization of it. So for certain things, but that makes sense. Like this, they don't have to really be in a car. You just need essentially the actual physical bodies moving. Which it always sucks at. So I guess that's how they did the physics, by using real world physics. Very interesting and exciting things. 137 entries. Look at this, dude.
I wonder how long this took to do.
Well,
this must have taken
scene
a while.
5 was 15,788. That was scene 5. Did they have to do some AI retakes or something? Are you doing retakes? They do. You have to take the best take, because their takes now is just trying to generate it. Sometimes it takes me 60 songs to make one of the songs for the stream.
Right, but the point is that this is going to do an end run around Hollywood. It's going to do an end run around
There's
ESG,
been an end run for a while.
Right? Like, you know, we will have guns and titties back again. I can't wait, right? Snake Plissken will return.
Good. Digital titties are not good, okay?
No. I want 80s action films back, right?
I know.
I want guns, titties, cigars, dudes with eye patches, like shooting like weird monsters and stuff. That is what I want. But I demand.
And everyone's white, including the villain, who is Russian. Okay,
that's right. Exactly. No. You are allowed to have like one black guy who's like in the team, right?
He's fucking dying in the first 20 minutes, though. Yeah.
Right. Everybody else has to be like white, and yes, and as you said, the bad guy is always Russian.
I know, but like we weren't racist when the black guy would get shot in the first 20 minutes. It wasn't like we were cheering. The black guy would die in the first 20 minutes, and we would go, "Oh." Anyways, you know, see. Didn't give that much of a shit, but we gave some sort of a shit, you know?
Who was the guy who was in was he in Predator?
Yeah.
He was good, right? Like those kinds of, like, you know, black.
He's responsible for the meme handshake.
Yeah, he's a hard dude, but he's just one of the fellas, right? He's not gonna like break out halfway through the film and give you a lecture on critical race theory. Right? We don't need any of that, right? We need a Russian guy named Dmitry, right? And like a plucky ragtag team of dudes armed to the teeth on a quest for titties and money and, you know, big explosions. That's what we need. What happened to Hollywood?
So
they got so gay.
The whole film runs on 5 rules. Assets first. Nothing generates until every face, place, and prop is locked. 2. Describe everything every time the model has no memory. 3. Change one thing at a time. 4. Give the model less freedom. A corner, not a room. A map, not guesswork. So that's what I suck at. You're much better at being descriptive and specific with AI prompts than I am. 5. Shot won't land. Simplify the shot, not the words. Interesting. Okay.
Master Shake is like, okay, let's stop here and do a land acknowledgement. Special operations team, they're going through the Canadian jungle, right? They're like, oh, we're at the border. We better stop here and do a land acknowledgement. And then like Ahmed has to pray towards Mecca. The 2K guys have to like stop for some quick butt sex. Like, honestly, right? Like you could do it. You could do an incredible fucking like parody film of that. You know, like where like a group like that are actually up against like a sort of 80s A-Team style. Like, oh man, come on, that'd be fucking awesome.
I know, and being the idea guy is fun. And as an editor, everyone used to find out I was a videographer, and they go, "I had this idea," and then I'm like, "Yeah, I bet you do." Oh, come on, let's do this. By let's, you mean me. Shoot it, edit it, light it, make sure everything looks good. And then
that's right.
And then when I show you your idea, you go, I know we set everything up, but I guess I wasn't picturing that.
Listen,
the idea is the easy part.
Listen, man, I'm the ideas guy, right? I come up with the vision, right?
Give me a couch and a vape and watch out.
That's right. then I go off and drink coffee for the afternoon, right? Let the underlings do the work.
So recently, friend of the channel, it looks like we're going to be doing something interesting, possibly at the end of this week. Remnant777, he left a funny post of me. I have a ridiculous voice, probably remind him of some sort of character. Now, there was a couple of people that didn't like me, which I understand, okay? I understand why someone wouldn't like Andrew Wilson, okay? It's just the reasons that they give sometimes are mysterious. One of them is this. Rhetorically Defective is an example of the degradation of right-wing content as rightism becomes more acceptable and appeals to more normies. And so I said, what are some good examples of right-wing content? And then that same person said, for example, the J Lino is one of them, okay? So I like to ask these questions with criticism. We'll get back to that person in just a moment. And so...
Ardy, yeah. listen, I got to stop you here, right?
Sure.
Look, this guy is... unfortunately, he's absolutely correct, right? We need to stop appealing to the common man, right? We need to like stop making jokes, and we need instead to pivot this entire stream into like high Fulton political theory.
Well, hold
Welcome
on.
back to Ardy and Fist. Tonight, we will be talking about Julius Evola and his esoteric ideas on the right wing for 3 hours in a very boring voice.
Inappropriate poop joke. See, it doesn't really work with that voice, right? Now, you want to listen to him and hear him out, but you haven't heard him say this yet. He goes, their content is at least a new perspective. Unlike the normie, liberal, libertarian dribble I see in your videos are like PragerU with less production quality and more the moos while never actually exploring mooish power in depth. You also support Christian morality, which spiritually rejects white identity and race as a whole. Now, here's the weird thing. Remnant777 is openly a Christian, and he's saying like liberal, like libertarian. This Jay Lino guy that he said was like a right-winger is an American like syndicalist, which is like it's like left-wing libertarianism-ish, because right-wing libertarianism is like private property. They are no private property, right? You know how Marxists will sell you on like, yeah, we're really about the community, but then they just get state power? The fucking syndicalists are like actually believe in like, oh, people power. They actually fucking believe it. But it's left wing at the end of the day.
Syndicalism is just government by labor unions. That's all it fucking is. Right?
Is that what they believe?
Yes. Basically, you spin up a bunch of like trade unions.
Yeah.
And obviously they're retards. So they're like, we don't have the government.
Okay.
Right? But what they don't realize is that you cannot not have a government. Like, by definition, whatever the largest power is just becomes the government by default. Fucking anarchists hate it when I make this argument. They're like, no kings, no rulers. We will have an anarchist society. I'll be like, listen, man, put down the crack pipe, just for a second, right? Like, take out the prostate massager. Humans do not work that way.
And my favorite one is a different person saying, I got a few of his videos recommended and I couldn't sit through a single one. At least he does live up to his namesake and profile pic. That is my Smoky Man bad. That is why you think that's my first time hearing that. And so, And so someone said, he's like a stereotypical right-winger, like how breadtubers like Noah Samson, friend of Hassan Piker, by the way, are the stereotypical left-winger. And I said, I'm an atheist that's nicknamed the miscegenator, which, as we all know, has been a staple in the paleo-conservative movement for generations. I don't know why they had to, like, I've never disliked someone and felt the need to invent a reason as to why I don't like them. I don't understand that psychology.
Can't believe you talk to the common man, Ardy, right? It's terrible. Like,
I'm so curious.
Like the way to get your ideas
hold on.
there.
I'm annoying. I interrupt people. I'm obnoxious. Plenty of fucking things, right? Calling me normal and average. I don't think you're going to sell that one.
That's literally the worst insult.
That's what you're going to call me?
Rhetorically normal.
Oh, my dear Lord. That's all you got? That's why you don't like me? Surely there must be something. Okay. Now, speaking of paleo-conservatives, okay, this is actually when Pat Buchanan was running in 1992. This is the opening of the Mall of America, fellas, okay? Take your hats off, put them over your hearts.
The bargains are coming! The bargains are coming! Hear ye, hear ye!
The mother of all shopping crowds was waiting as the doors opened.
Yes, shop till you drop. We are professional shoppers.
By noon, the 2 parking ramps were filled with 13,000 cars, and that sent the mall's war room into action.
Oh no! Oh no! Do you know why the police are there? Is it because of the breakout of violence? Is that why the police are there? Or is it because...
those cars. Look at those majestic cars. Like, oh my God. Oh, I want to go back. Look at those beautiful cars, man.
Somebody call the police. We're going to need to direct traffic.
To off-site parking properly and efficiently and effectively within...
Properly, efficiently, and effectively. The whitest words I've heard in a very long time.
5 minutes.
There was congestion on the roads, but the plan seemed to work. Meanwhile, the traffic jam continued inside the mall.
Do you think we can do roller coasters inside of the mall nowadays? Do you fucking... You know, in 1992, when they had a roller coaster in a mall, they were like, oh, they're going to start putting roller coasters in all the malls. How do you not? What an attraction, the business that it brings.
So this is 1991, right?
92, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, we didn't know how good we had it, bros. I was having a terrible time in the early 90s. I had no idea how much worse society was going to get.
It took almost an hour to get on some of the most popular amusement rides.
And everyone patiently waited for an hour.
And the wait continued in the food line.
Well, I placed an order at about 1:27 and got the food about 2:20.
You know, I see black people all the time scream if their food isn't ready in 2 minutes. I think there's a difference of culture here.
This is clearly AI generated. There is no way you could have something of that size without diversity.
I was there. I lived through it. I'm an old relic at this point. I was there before the internet.
No, it must be like a false memory, right? Like what's happened, okay, is you've been raped, and in order to cover up the traumatic experience, you've invented this fantasy that there was such a thing as the Mall of America.
Fist, there were so few black people, we would go, what the fuck is that? What the fuck? Oh, is that what they smelled? That's what it was like. There were so few of them. Our noses weren't, bastardized as they are now.
All officials say the delays were due in part to a green...
Black children running up and... I can just picture it now, running up and down that, so they have to shut it down. Very easy to imagine that.
Workforce.
You sure got a variety. You can buy anything you want, I guess.
This place has over 300 stores, some very specialized. Just what this doctor ordered.
And I found a book that I've not been able to find anywhere else. Human Anatomy by an illustrator.
Some people came just to look.
What's that guy? Let me guess, a doctor? Okay. What's that guy? A doctor or an engineer? A doctor. He's actually a doctor, yeah. Back when that wasn't a backhanded saying.
Look, this California man says he likes taking pictures of cultural icons.
And this is
cultural icons.
really one of them. This
oh
is
God.
High water mark of where we're going.
That is mooish right there. Okay, this is where it all started to go downhill. Where we started taking pictures.
He's right. This guy's a fucking prophet right there, man. It was the high watermark.
Fellas, now that's sad because we don't have it anymore. But let me raise our spirits right now, okay? This is an oldie but a goodie. Now, when I was watching this is going to be all male island versus all female island. Now, when I was watching this, wait until you see when they rescue the women, okay? I believe it's men filming the entire time. So let's see how this goes, men versus women. Let's raise the spirits now.
And the women have no choice but to swim to the shore in the clothes they're wearing.
No dry clothes and no fire, because we have to make mistakes. Don't think about it. Just one by one. It's gonna take.
Wow. You ever hear a man cry? Wait until you hear the men cry going into that same situation. Whew, it's going to be tough seeing the male tears.
Just cuddle each other tonight.
With light running out fast.
That was it. It was that was it. No time to talk. Sorry. We're splashing in the water like a bunch of fucking feral dogs right now.
The women are no closer to finding a beach to set up camp.
It's right near me. A huge fucking snake came towards me. I think.
Men are literally catching like a fucking alligator.
Oh my god, there's a caiman.
Though potentially deadly to humans, a crocodile of this size could provide tens of thousands of calories for the women, who have barely eaten in days. The women.
Okay, so the women haven't eaten in days. And so I'm thinking to myself, surely someone's going to step in. They can't take care of themselves. They're going to get hurt. They're going to get killed by an animal. They let it ride still.
Men decide to walk away from this potentially life-saving feast.
That is dinner here. That is our dinner. These little bastards got close, laddie. He's not scared of us.
Now they manage, it's not, so they utilize the fact that it's not scared of them, right? Now that's very survivalistic.
Yeah.
This animal, we need to get close to this animal, and this animal is not afraid of us. And so they tie something around its upper teeth.
You're in. Here we go, puppy dog. Yes.
Look at this coordination of all the men.
Go.
We can't eat because we have no fire. We have nothing to drink because we can't boil it to purify it and sterilize it.
Literally a party that I want to go to right now, and they're just surviving. Literally, I would love to go there right now.
We are about to see the invention of prostitution in real time.
There's no men to fuck them. There's no men to fuck them, though, so they can't do it.
Can I come and sit by the fire?
The women have circled back to Coconut Beach for a second time.
Just like they're driving on the street, going in a giant circle and having no idea.
The women have now been without water for more than 48 hours.
They've been... Whoa, you just gonna let them die?
No,
They've had no water in 48 hours.
This is not realistic because there's a camera person there.
Who's a man, by the way. The man's just watching all of it.
And they know if shit gets too bad, they'll all get airlifted off the island. This is the problem.
And they are dangerously dehydrated.
I feel really drained.
I haven't been to an Applebee's in 2 weeks.
Wait,
I haven't had someone serve me food.
Where did the men get a fishing net from exactly?
They made it, right? Or something?
I don't know. I've never seen it. That's a big fishing net to make.
Someone here has seen the episode, so they would be able to answer you in chat. hugging the cameraman. That's tribalism. Even the camera guy's like, you guys fucking did it. And they're like, bro, you shot it. We couldn't have done it without you.
After almost 2 weeks without a meal, the group is at the point of starving.
They haven't eaten in 2 weeks, and they haven't had water in 48 hours. I just love it, dude. They're just sitting there like, oh, when is a guy going to come and do something? No, it's an all-female island. Like women will make fun of men. Like if the woman doesn't clean up after them, like the men just think that it happens without them. Like, you know, they think that their laundry gets magically folded and stuff like that. This is the actual story. This is women without men. With like, I think I'm just gonna sit here until I die. You don't really build civilizations, do you?
If they don't eat soon, there's a genuine risk their organs will start to shut down.
Raising the spirits, fellas. Raising the spirits. Let's check out what's going on with the fellas right now.
Are you doing sippies?
Yes, sir.
Okie dokie. Right. Okay. Torch and White for $5. Hey, Torch and White, how you doing, man? Got an early morning tomorrow, so I need to restart the stream. I'll do it when I catch the replay. Thanks anyway.
He's on the grind, man. He is on the grind. He's doing Sean T's Insanity, I'll have you know, and he's on week 5. It's an hour-long, very intensive, high-interval training workout that he's crushing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, Godspeed, man. King Spect $5.
How? How does he know what's in my dreams?
That's from the last episode of Clan-Based Lifeforms. For $5, thank you, mate. Please restart the stream in about 2 hours for me. I'd really appreciate it, fellas. Also, the last Clan-Based Lifeforms was gut-busting. Oh, thank you very much, Spectre. Yeah,
Hype it, mate. What's that? What's that for those who don't know?
Clan-Based Lifeforms. Oh, surprised that you would ask. That is, in fact, my live stream, my Thursday live stream with me and Aaron from Clown Town Chronicle. You can find it on YouTube. Just search for News Fist.
Click the link in the description.
Oh, and link in the description. Yeah, that too. You know,
it's a lot easier.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yes.
Thanks very much, Spectre. And Spectre again. I swear, this black guy, every pause face was like a miracle, right? For $5, I was born just in time to watch all of this prosperity start to die on the altar of Nagadam. Yeah, I know.
Wow. So see, you caught a glimpse of it. You remember, right? You were there.
I remember.
They can't lie about your history, okay? You know your history. You survived it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You survived waiting in line for an hour patiently, peacefully. You survived those times.
Andrew Corrigan for $10.
Hello there.
Yeah. Thank you very much, mate. No shout out to the fellow Rangers in that post saving your good name and spreading the glory of the boogery truth, miscegenation, and libertarianism. Shameful.
I mean, like, come on, man. You can't just give me a generic insult. Can it be something specific to me, you know? Please? Otherwise, I gotta make you into... I mean, that's content. That's hilarious. I'm normal. I'm just a normal, liberal, libertarian.
Slosher for 10 Canadian loonies.
Oh, yeah, proud.
Ardy, I'm the same age as you. I remember my part of Canada being whiter than a snowball in a blizzard. Now going to Costco, I feel like Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom.
Yep, that is your Costco is my BJ's. Yep, and I go there, and it's like, come on, there's a membership fee. How the fuck can they afford it? Oh, government assistance, you know. Snap, EBT.
You go shopping for BJ's? I mean...
No. It's called BJ's Wholesaler. That's what it's called.
Wait, you can get BJ's Wholesale?
Yeah, what do you think the immigrants are for, okay? What do you think the miscegenation is? You think a white woman's going to do that?
Fair enough.
Some toothless tribal head over here. Let's continue. Let's continue along before I start talking again.
You deserve what you tolerate for $10.
Oh, yeah, bruv.
Only men, success, prosperity, civilization, advancement. Only women, screams, explosions, and fires burning. We're fine. Totally fine. Don't need no man.
Let's put them in charge of the men in HR. Am I right, fellas? Please.
Things can only get better. I got this for $5. Thank you, mate. Letting useless voids starve to make good TV. I knew I liked Bear Grylls for a reason.
Dude, right? I think it's so funny they haven't eaten in 2 weeks. Their skin is deteriorating. Like, what would have to happen for you to stop filming? That's hilarious.
And the UGM for $10.
No, he's rocking everywhere.
I am currently playing a modified MMO from 1999. I miss video games that have white soul. Yeah.
Right.
I'm playing Path of Exile too at the moment. That definitely has white soul.
Ooh, I dipped my toe into that. I went with Monk. What'd you go with?
Well, I did like what's the necromancer called? The witch. I did like the whole campaign, and now I'm like most of the way through on a ice sorceress. When you're playing on console, the targeting is a bit wonky because you don't have a mouse cursor.
Yeah.
So AOE, like point blank AOE stuff, and like lots of minions is a very, very good build for getting anywhere on console. You know
very
what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah. Fuck you. I like to play on the couch. All right. I like to lie on the couch and like
and write AI movies for
that's,
a fee.
That's right. No. Yeah. Just I like to think of the ideas, and then I punt them over to Ardy. Right, who does the grunt work, you know? Okay, so what do we? Right, is it onto my?
You're the guy. What do you got? Apparently, we don't talk about the moose, so it would be nice if you could have something about the moose, just to prove that one guy wrong.
I have some stuff about the moose, but first, Lindsay Watch. Can we get some hands that heal in the chat? He has managed to come up with a new descriptor for the woke right. He calls them groypers.
You have to be fucking with me.
I'm not fucking with you.
You have to be fucking with me. So I'm sorry. Is he calling non-groypers groypers?
Oh, look, I don't know, man. Right. Like, look, you know, fucking, right. Like, so woke right didn't work. Retard right didn't work. And now there are like enough groypers. They're just basically like using that as a descriptor. You know, you know.
This has to be stated. This is going to be less than a minute. We cover this. This is, what is he like? Put another penny loafer on his tootsies? Because Jay Burden was right. I don't know what he likes, okay? He called this. This is literally, we covered this, 10 days ago. This is what he said.
Antisocial internet groypers. And by the way, this is another term. There are several in this.
This is such a good point. Oh, they did such a good job breaking down the rhetoric of what they're really doing. Jay Burden's point here, I wish I had thought of it and said it before him.
That are used very tactically. Groyper is one of them. Because groyper effectively means anyone I don't like who is more right-wing than me.
Yes, he's not. And that is literally what you're showing us right now, dude. That deserves veneration. Unbelievable work by Oron and Jay Burden in that episode.
But by definition, anyone more right-wing than him he doesn't like. So like the two things are like literally exactly the same.
Oh,
right?
So what? No friends to the right?
Yeah, basically, right? Like he's like with the Mensheviks. Chat, you'll be able to like tell me when, like before the Bolshevik Revolution, when the Bolsheviks were going around like messing everything up, there was like these sort of like centrist types that were basically opposing any solution at all. Exactly like Lindsay, being like, oh, we can't do anything, blah, 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 and everything worked out great. And for some reason, he's going after Andrew Wilson now. Oh, because Andrew's talking about the moves. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so he gets it from both sides. So hello. Looks like Frojax is watching us live right now. Fellas,
oh, hey, Frojax. How you doing, mate?
The Frojax video we're going to watch on Tucker Carlson, they were fucking hilarious, dude. Because he's Tucker Carlson is like, they're all one word things, right? And so they're talking about how like if things are like beautiful, and they're like, well, how would you make it more beautiful, Tucker? He's like, he's saying things that it's like, okay, now what's the next step? Particularly the last 10 minutes had me laugh my ass off. But we're going to cover some of that. We're going to be covering Steven Crowder, his issues, So I assumed if Steven Crowder had issues and Frojax had issues, that a lot of people had issues. Apparently, I was fucking wrong. Let's continue.
I mean, my issue basically with the Tucker thing is it's massive vague posting, really, right? Like it's clearly he just wants to do MAGA without Israel, but it's still, you know, very, very feels based and vibes based. But you know, hello to Frojax and the viewers.
Very cool. Yo, bro, Crispy Drums TV is here, dude. I love watching technical, like, death metal, mathcore drums and pro-white shit, and that's his gimmick. He does, like, really technical fucking drumming, and we'll talk to, like, blacks on whatever, Omegle or whatever it is, so that's fucking hilarious to see him here as well. All right, now continue.
Okay, so, Moo Watch. Today on Moo Watch, we will be doing United Kingdom's Moo Watch. Yes, the lobby is just as huge and influential in the United Kingdom, or the UK, as we like to call it, as it is in America. And if you point this out, they will use the influence that they absolutely don't have to shut down your political party and destroy your life. It's sort of like a Schrodinger's influence, basically, right? So Rupert Lowe, the head of Restore, was allegedly offered, well, okay, I don't know this for sure, but this is what I suspect, okay? They started up to him, they offered him some money, they're like, hey, how about we have like a Restore Friends of Israel like we've got for Reform? And it looks like Restore have said no. So, of course, they have to be destroyed. And in particular, they are going very, very hard after Charlie Downs, who is their second in command. There have been about 10, possibly more, of these like hit pieces in the last couple of days. They are fucking everywhere, right?
Yep.
Moose be mad. Moose be wildin', okay? Rupert Lowe's racist cheerleaders can no longer hide their despicable extremism. And this is why I wanted to point this out, right? Is that we did it, bros. The woke right has finally made it across the pond, right? It is now official.
Wait, so now they've given up woke right here, and so it's like if a movie doesn't sell in the United States, they try it overseas.
They'll need a British version of Groypers, something like Biscuity Doos or
something.
Trombly Pomps or something like that.
Yeah, it'll have
right?
to come from you. You'll know what'll work over there.
The woke right relies on insults, distortions, and obscure definitions of Britishness. Now, of course, this is what this is all... Sorry, obscene definitions of Britishness. This is what this is all about. People from Restore have said that they want to ban halal, but also kosher slaughter. What's next? What's next? Oh, my God. Before you know it, they're going to start saying bad stuff about circumcision, right? But also... if you start defining Britishness along the lines of ethnicity, what place for the Moos? Now, I want to point this out, right? Like, the problem, like, one of my big beefs with, like, this community is that they don't really care, right? Like, what the fallout or externalities is of this kind of, like, fact, okay?
Yeah.
They constantly complicate the definition of what is an American, what is a Briton, right? Like, no. And this confusion causes tons of downstream effects. They don't give a crap, right? All they give a crap about is that they are included within that definition. They don't care whether, like, weakening the definition allows, like, fucking Abdul and Ramdeep to also claim that they're just as English as everybody else.
Right.
No, okay? The important thing is that they are included. So this guy, Alistair Heath, Professor Zionist, of course, the goodest goy that we have. These reprobates' central belief is that Britishness is a closed shop determined by blood.
What?
It's blood. It's blood.
What?
It's soil. Oh, mate.
I love how that there's no like birthright citizenship law in the UK, and there's a birthright citizenship law in the United States, but consequentially it ends the same exact way. Whether or not it's legal, whether or not it's a law, they will allow them to stay. That's what it means.
It is impossible for anyone to become British. Even if you speak perfect English, embrace our customs, love this country, contribute selflessly, and have acquired citizenship, your fate is to remain a perpetual other. Othering.
Isn't it like that in China? Would they call me Chinese? Would they ever call me Indian? Why is it only the white countries that are forced to do this? Is that weird to you at all?
I feel like I've heard this language of othering somewhere else, like from the left, which has sort of basically made it completely impossible to organize anything on the basis of ethnicity and or nationality, right? And
like, if you no, only if you're white. Stop. The blacks can do it. They're encouraged to do it.
When they speak of the British nation, they only mean its white British component. Dun, dun, dun.
Now, here's why. Now, hold on, very quickly. This is, and I have used this rhetoric from projects, where when they say nationalist, they don't mean white nationalist, because a nationalist is white in the United States. Yeah. So that's very important to use that, because like even when he says white British, it's like, you mean British, right? Now my brain immediately makes that correction instead of just saying like I'm this type of nationalist. You're a nationalist. You're British. That's what the word means.
Well, that sounds like something a racist would say, Ardy.
Oh, I should. Okay, right.
Have you considered nipping off and, maybe going to like a re-education class? The despicable implication is that more recent arrivals, Moos, Europeans, Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Somalians, Pakistanis, everybody else cannot be truly British, regardless of how well integrated they are. They sort of gave the game away with this. Usually the way they do it, right, is they put Moos as the last one in the list, right? So it should be Europeans, Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, and Moos. By putting Moos at the front, you're kind of giving the game away. They're not sending their best, bros, is what I'm saying, okay? Yeah. This amounts to a rejection of civic nationalism. Oh, no.
There it is.
Oh, no.
There it is. Well, so, but a civic nationalist means globalism. I mean, what is a nation? If you're a civic nationalist, then as long as they do, I mean, what is American culture at this point? What would they have to do to be, even if we didn't have birthright citizenship and we were trying to like really like steelman the civic nationalist position, what would they have to do to be citizens? Take a test? It's still the same outcome, no matter how you cut it.
Such activists, in other words, are racists. Horrible, disgusting racists. It is to describe these kinds of attitudes that the word was invented. I wonder, who was it who invented the concept? Oh, yes, it was Magnus Hirschfeld in his book Racismus, which I believe was published around like 1932 or something like that. Also the father of transgenderism. I wouldn't want to, draw any conclusions or anything.
Let's be fair over here, okay?
Mired in a similarly pathetic cult of victimhood, imbued with nihilism, they misuse terms such as genocide to describe the decline in what they consider to be the proportion of real British people on our islands. Mate, if the population of Moos was declining the way the population of whites were declining, you would never hear the fucking end of it. I swear to God, they would be like kvetching from the rooftops. They'd be like shit being shone on the side of Parliament. There'd be like massive ad campaigns. They'd be like, oh my God, save a Moo. Oh, fuck. Oh, dude. This is why you guys are unpopular. Just saying, all right? As far as they are.
Instead of dropping a slur, it really is funny to go, and this is why no one likes you.
That's true, right? Like their popularity is fucking like crashing, and they're just I don't know, they're like octupling down by this point.
This is why people like to make it crispy, okay? Just letting you know, some feedback.
As far as they are concerned, white British people have been robbed of agency. Welfarism and indolence are only problems if they afflict ethnic minorities. The woke right is even worse than the woke left. Yay! James Lindsay made it over to England. Yay!
Oh my God! Does everyone know his name?
Oh fuck! I don't know. I don't fucking care. Right? Look, it doesn't. it doesn't matter, right? They'll just say anything. Like, this is just, we have to have bajillion more minorities. Like, no. Okay. And this all kicked off after Charlie Downs reposted a picture of Nigel Farage at the Mooish Friends of Reform meeting. Now, I just want to like play this little clip of how that went down. Okay.
Sure.
Just to really hammer home this point that I am making, that there will be no reform on mass migration as long as these people are opposing it. Right?
Yep.
Says to love the stranger, but we will want strangers in Egypt.
My ancestors led pogroms to incite their refugees.
Let him speak.
Whoever didn't fight the Moses fascists in cable streets for this. An attack on one minority is an attack on all.
An attack on one minority is an attack on all.
Minority.
Really?
See, that never applies to whites in any case. An attack on what, and that's why liberalism is reserved as a punishment for whites, because only you have to be an individual. Everyone else gets to collectivize. An injury to one is an injury to all when it comes to communists. Yeah, only when you're a communist and a white can that then apply to you and your group.
When they say it is commanded to love the stranger, does this include whites? Because I'm not feeling the love personally. It seems like it's very selective.
Get out of my way! Get out of my way!
You piece of shit! Torah says to love the stranger.
So they're just, look, clearly there were like a bunch of them implanted in this crowd because they were like going hard against reform, but now they've decided that they're supporting Farage. And you're getting increasingly like unhinged shit.
Yeah.
This is Nicholas Lizak. He's like a political commentator. And he's just lost it. He's like, oh my God, the filth, like, no. Apparently,
Yeah. You want to go ahead and explain what's on the screen in case someone's just listening right now?
Oh, it's just his face photoshopped onto a lampshade, right? Right, and of course, we must.
Now, fellas,
Rupert Lowe must publicly and unequivocally condemn the utter scum nesting in your ranks, right?
Yeah, now we can say whatever we want about Nick Fuentes. That lampshade belongs to Nick Fuentes, okay? That is where that came from, okay?
Yep.
That is a cultural marker. It is illegal to talk about the holly in essentially everywhere in the West, except for the United States. And he used that freedom of speech so well.
So now they're going after Lowe's Commons Committee seat. This is one of the reasons why Lowe's being like quite effective. He's on, I believe it's the Commons Budgetary Committee, so he gets to ask questions about how the government spends money. So they're clearly trying to like pressure him to get rid of Charlie Downs. I don't know this, but I suspect that someone heard through the grapevine that, Charlie does not love the nation of Israel enough. This is just, this is again a little GB News interview with Alistair Heath, the douchebag behind that article.
Alistair, another blistering piece. Is fair to say you put the cat amongst the pigeons. The headline:
turn down. Yeah.
7,000 Telegraph responders have got stuck in. Nigel Farage must reject Rupert Lowe's repugnant dance with white nationalism.
Yes, I believe in that strongly. I think it's time for people on the mainstream right to make a stand, and to basically say that there's two big debates here. People like me who believe that immigration should be dramatically reduced, that illegal immigrants should be kicked out, that there should be integration, that we should.
Right. So just to summarize,
yeah,
the immigrants that are already here will remain here. There will be some messing around the edges to get rid of some people who are here illegally, but the migrants that are here will stay here. They will integrate and the conditions that are contributing to the decline and gradual replacement of the whites will continue uninterrupted. Awesome.
Wage a fight against Islamism, and that we should be proud to be British, we should love this country, and then we should embrace people who are willing to love this country. And my position is that you can become British. You can choose to become British, and it is not about race, and it's not about your parents or grandparents or great-grandparents, right?
Now, again, the reason why he has to adopt this position is because of the moves. Now, you know, many people might not be aware of this. If you want to, on my channel, there's a 5-part series of the history of the moves in England. The moves were actually expelled from England for like a couple of 100 years. It was a great period. You know, Shakespeare was around during that period. Then the Glorious Revolution happened, and Cromwell let them back in, allegedly because they financed his revolution, which of course is, you know, very, very unusual for that group of people. So you see, it has to include them, and if it includes them, it has to include Abdul and Ramdeep and, you know, Nagubu and everybody else.
So,
is it really Nagubu?
Sorry?
Is it really Nagubu? Or did you make it up? I don't know anymore. I don't know what names are real anymore. They speak 77 languages in my fucking school system where I am, dude. Words aren't regular anymore.
I can't speak fucking Somalian, man. I have no desire to learn. I speak English like quite well. I'm good with that.
Right. Well, there's like Somalian Americans. But what about Somalian African Americans? Like, what about Jackson? You know?
People, some of whom are supporters of Restore, that don't agree with that and have a much more ethnic definition of Britishness. I think that's where the whole argument boils down to. And I just don't agree with that. I think that's wrong. And I think we should be, you know, the parties of the right should be civic nationalist parties. You know, people who love Britain, who've become British citizens, are British, regardless of the country.
In other words, the parties of the right should not be right-wing. It always comes down to this again and again.
Or Paleocon, it's whatever you know, moniker has been given to it at that time in history.
Always again. This is why the conversation never, ever, ever gets resolved.
This is why there's 2 phases and 2 phases only.
Out of their skin. I think that is the key argument here. I also disagree with Restore on a bunch of specific policies. For example, they want to ban kosher slaughter. Rupert Lowe said that it was a barbaric and anti-British practice.
Notice he's not bothered about halal slaughter, despite the fact that they're functionally exactly the same. Does this guy eat a lot of kosher, perchance?
In that video that he made, intended for Nigel Farage, that's complete nonsense. There's been kosher slaughter in this country ever since there's been Jews in this country, and Jews are British patriots. There's all sorts of other points like that, but I think fundamentally there's a big row here, and the row is about, can you become British?
See? He literally even says it.
You also claim that Rupert Lowe, again, you're not sparing any punches, is a deluded egotist who is toxifying British politics, fanning the fires of racial and religious strife.
Oh, God. Always with the catastrophism. Always, like,
hey,
oh,
dude.
he's vile. He's fanning the flames. If we let this poison like be undefeated, you know, we're gonna have Mustache Man by lunchtime. Oh, it's terrible.
Don't act like you don't want to go to Nambia and become a Nambian. They would go, yeah, you act like a Nambian. Oh my God, should we just start calling them Nambians? You act like a fucking Nambian, so now you're a Nambian. You know, you're a Papua New Guinean, right?
Yeah.
Only in white countries. Dude, is there magic? Why don't any other brown or black countries have magic soil? Are white people that magical, or we're the only ones with magic soil?
That's how it works in Israel, man. You go over there and you're just, you know, you just become like magically mooish, right? You just like stay there for a bit, and this hypocrisy has started to become mainstream now, and of course this is very, very bad because the essence of it is that it's 2-tier effectively, you know, right? Ethno-state for me, economic zone for thee. And having it pointed out like is bad for PR.
And risks handing permanent power to Andy Burnham's leftist revolutionaries. And it's fair to say quite a few of your own readers disagree with your opinion piece. Oh, yes. The top-rated comment on the article was by a reader called David Jones saying, "Oh, Alistair, I'm disappointed. I'm normally a big fan of your articles, but this attack on Rupert It's totally desperate.
Well, it's not desperate. I think it's essential. I think obviously his behaviour is entirely destructive because A, he's bringing in all this kind of obsessive race-linked debate. For example, today he was unable to say that the king was white British because under certain definitions.
You have to have millions of people, Fist, in your country that were like, why do we care about George Floyd during COVID? When they talk about like making something about race, have most of you really forgotten about that? How you were forced to care about George Floyd?
Yeah, well, they purged anyone who was against it, right? So like it wasn't.
You learn pretty quick.
It wasn't natural, right? Like much like you guys have got, the civil rights laws and stuff. The UK has its own versions. This is why that big scandal with the Cambridge Ninja just broke, right? This guy who's just completely like totally made all this crap up. He's like, oh, he ran like, 30 marathons in 30 days and no. Like, of course he was a PhD in anti-white waffle, essentially. Because if you question these kinds of people too much, they'll do you for racism. Like literally at one point, there's a tale from a guy who was doing a PhD. He was a PhD supervisor. Apparently he was bloody terrible. The student said, look, you're not giving me any supervision for my PhD. And this guy turned around and said, oh, you're a racist. So this is the stage that we have got to. None of this is organic. All of it is forced. And quite frankly, what's now happened is that they have now cancelled and put enough people beyond the pale that they have formed another counter elite, which is a completely predictable outcome if second order effects.
The king isn't white British. Well, if the king isn't white British, who's white British? I think he can become British. That's the key. And obviously the king's British. And secondly, obviously he's dividing the right because he's deliberately.
By the way, the king isn't British. He's fucking German. And there's persistent rumors that he's converted to Islam. So how the fuck is he English? Exactly. You know what I mean? Well, in this soft, civnat, religious, why do we have to have religious freedom? Because of the movies, fundamentally. Oh, God.
Planning to try and destroy reform, and that means that the chances of there being some sort of right-wing majority in Parliament are diminishing.
May I ask you, is your goal, aside from obviously eviscerating Rupert Lowe and Restore, to try and forge an alliance between the Conservatives and Nigel Farage? And yet today, Kemi Badable says she wouldn't do that. She thinks that Reform are woke.
Yeah. I mean, this is where it all becomes ridiculous, more and more ridiculous, right? I mean, yes, I think ultimately there probably will need to be some sort of agreement between Reform and the Conservatives as things come to stand. Obviously, things can change dramatically.
So this is the real play, basically, right? They want the Conservative Party back because they have no disagreement with anything the Conservative Party did, right? They don't care about the Boris wave. They don't care about like all the horrible stuff that the Conservative Party did. They're just a vehicle. And much like in American politics, if it benefits the Moos, they'll go to Labour. If it doesn't benefit, if it benefits the Moos, they'll go to the Conservatives. They have no real sort of principles apart from what is good for our ethnic group, and they fight relentlessly against any other group employing those same tactics.
And so on. But at the moment, I think there need to be some kind of agreement of that nature. I don't think there should be an agreement between either Reform or the Conservative Party with Restore, because I think they are beyond the pale.
Oh, they're beyond the pale. Do you know where that phrase comes from?
That's what he thinks, okay? What do you think of that?
Yeah, yeah. You know where the phrase beyond the pale comes from?
No.
It's related
no.
to...
I'm American. I have no idea where any words come from.
It's related to the Pale of Settlement, is my understanding. Chat, if you want to like fact check me on this, I thought it basically is about the Pale of Settlement in Russia. So this is the kind of like stuff that's now coming out. Britain's moves are right to fear the rise of Restore. Look at him. Look at Rupert Lowe. He's mate.
Giving it his all.
He's a fascist. Look at him, right? It's funny thing is, right? This is clearly the meanest photo they could find of Rupert Lowe.
Every fucking time.
He's just smiling, just like, oh my God. Rupert Lowe's movement channels American conspiracy-fueled ideology, while his associates scarcely hide their anti-Semitic views. Dum, dum, dum.
Oh, yeah.
When a once proud European nation suffers a change in fortune. Well, why did they suffer a change in fortune? It's hard to say, systemic outcomes, social economic circumstances. Two things will happen like clockwork. Someone will emerge claiming to have the answers, and his supporters will blame the moves. The two operate symbiotically. Oh, yeah. So, what happened to England after the expulsion? Oh, that's right. We don't talk about that, do we? We don't talk about the period, during the expulsion. It's totally erased from history.
Yes.
Like they just don't talk about it at all. It's as though it never ever happened. It's insane.
Well, they also fuck with recent history as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
We usually if your friend is like that or a significant other, you got to run away. You can't run away when they're in government. You got nowhere left to run,
So apparently, Ardent Party says that there is also a place called the English Pale, which may have been beyond the Pale. I thought it was the Pale of Settlement. Oh, right. Number 2 could be the Pale of Settlement. Oh, thank you very much, Arden. It is on these fringes I now see Restore Britain building its following. Its leader, Rupert Lowe, has all the answers. His long exposts frequently describe a real, complex problem before saying he would simply do this or that. Oh no, the problem is too complicated. You're not allowed to do anything about it. He is fond of telling critics, I don't give a crap. And he may well say the same of this article.
Oh my
but his
God.
flirtation with a distinctly un-British ethno-nationalism is getting stronger. And those around him can scarcely hide their feelings about the moose. We should all care about that. So, yeah. So, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
These issues demand urgent action, but we can't do anything that's right-wing. Mentoring Tucker Carlson, of course. So there's tons of that. This is an indication of where reform is at, by the way. Your based Reform Party. The anti-septicism apparently at the heart of Restore is abhorrent and is rightly being called out. Anti-septicism is racism. Oh, well done, Richard. Well done. Someone give him a fucking doggy treat. What the fuck is this? 2016? What if we called them racist? That's going to work.
I honestly you'll say some of this stuff to me, and I go, "Is the iPhone fucking 2 coming out? What year is it right now?"
It's so retarded.
It's always it's like Blast from the Past with fucking Brendan Fraser. You guys have been locked in a vault for fucking 15 years, and it opened up, and you're continuing it business as normal.
They don't have anything else. Like it's like this is going to end really badly, in my opinion, if this is it. Oh, and something I did not expect. John Cleese,
nice,
from Monty Python, right, who was for years widely regarded as an insufferable shit lib,
naturally,
has discovered Twitter, and he's now Restore posting. Oh my god!
Oh, he's reposting fucking Carl Benjamin.
Yeah. It's fucking hilarious. He's like the editor of the Telegraph. He's an Israeli propagandist. That explains everything. Oh, John.
A little late. Better late than never, right?
Better late than never. He's now Cleese is under attack. Apparently a bunch of Muslim radical Muslims want to kill him now.
Well, he's been under attack for a couple of years, right? He made his stance on British people being a distinct people, I think 2 or 3 years ago at least.
Yeah, but he was still very, very softy.
He's dipping his toe.
I don't. Maybe either something's happened to him, or he's just been spending a lot of time on Twitter. Look how often he posts.
2 minutes
Like,
ago. It just
he-
said 2 minutes ago.
Wait, he is posting like
2
a
minutes
lot.
ago. Inevitable. 2 minutes ago, John, please. That's hilarious, dude.
I was looking through his like account, and he's like just 2 hours ago. He's just retweeting restore, mate.
That's a good sign.
It's hilarious.
That's a very
It is a good sign. It means the boomers are coming home. Right. That's the end of my my stack.
Terrific.
I've got the other. Well, we'll do the rest at the end. Let's do some souvenirs.
Yeah, let me get into some meat after this.
All right. Oh, I'm looking forward to your meat.
Frojax watched us for the first 50 minutes of their stream, just so you know.
Oh, that's nice.
That was very cool.
That's fucking awesome. Right, where are we at? Okay.
Right.
The Denied Wreath, member for 1 month. These
bro.
Kipper worshippers can't even say radical right as a pejorative because it would just be as a response.
Well, they get to be radical. I say dissident because we don't get to be radical. We don't get to be extreme. So I explicitly like to say dissident right. I would say radical right, but we're not allowed to be radical and they are. So that's why I make that distinction. It's a pejorative when we're radical and it's not when they are.
So we don't usually read $2 super chats, but I'm going to make an exception.
Go ahead.
One, because this is Yiz. I was on Discord and Dragons last night.
Very
You can
cool.
check it out. Hello, Yizingham. PoE 1 is okay, but Grim Dawn is my favorite ARPG. Well, I'm playing PoE 2. I don't know. I find it better, personally. And this from Muzzle Top Cocktail. Seeing Ardy and Fist live as I get off work is my rock. Oh, thank you, mate.
That's what's up, dude. We are isn't that funny how in your mind it's hard for you to kind of explain this to other people because it's too crazy to explain for to them. But then at other times it's someone's reality rock. That's always so funny to me.
It just warms my little black heart, right, to think that I'm helping people get through a shift. Honestly, it's all worth it just for that. Oh God, I hated shift work. Luigi got shrooms for $5. New viewer here. Not sure how I came across you all, but I love the content. I guess my radicalization continues. Welcome, Luigi. Hey, you got to do shrooms.
It's one of the more fun, so to speak, radicalizations. Okay, you can radicalize at your own pace here. You're not encouraged or discouraged from going further white, so to speak. Okay,
that's right.
Or further to Christ. Okay,
further to Christ.
You're really going to want to radicalize in two areas. Okay, you're running straight for the whites or straight to Christ. Okay, if you're running straight to Christ, recommended here is orthodoxy. Okay, Orthodox Christianity. If you're running to the whites, you're going to want to start with return to the land. Okay, so that's two radical 2,000-year-old religion that's been around and made society normal. If you want to be radically normal, those are your two options.
Master Shake for $5. Hey, Shake, how you doing, mate? James Lindsay is the political science.
Love it. That could be a shirt.
He is like the Fauci. King Spectre for $5, mate. I love those profile pics. You say we run finances. Well, that's simply untrue. If that's what your stance is, then we'll have to bankrupt you.
Every time. Every time.
Every time. And James Lindsay's hands. Oh, mate, our favorite pair of hands. He's got the ointment. He's ready to go.
That was mitts.
For $5. Why wouldn't you want your country's government to prioritize foreigners? Well, precisely.
I can picture James Lindsay asking that and not realizing what he's asking.
Mm-hmm. Aramate Discourse, 10 months membership. Well,
there we go. He's almost going to be mooish. That's the next. That's the 12-month prize.
I may be a white American, but spiritually, I'm a Congolese man who miscegenates constantly. The Congo has magic soil, much like Britain.
Oh, there we go. You would think with their voodoo they have magic soil like us whites do. So that's good to know. It's good to learn something like that.
Yeah, it's voodoo soil, actually. Yes. Dissident Knight for $5 Australian. Hey, man. 5 Holynomicon lampshades, extra taut, please. Also, are they bespoke and I get a choice of whose face, or is it a Goy's given?
I mean, for that price, it's a Goy choice.
And Jam for $10. Hey, Jam, how you doing, mate?
Doink you there, mate.
PSA to all newcomers, make sure to grab your mandatory kippers with butter substitute and choose one of the selected browns to miscegenate with.
Fellas, please, buttery kippers in chat, okay? To let them, then it'll make sense to them if you post buttery kippers in chat. Then they won't be confused at all. All right.
No, not at all. Not at all. Wait. Hang on. I'm
Not a problem.
Losing the graphic. Okay, right. We ready?
Yeah, we're
time
ready.
for your schlop it out.
You can see this is an unlisted link. He released like an hour-and-a-half video of these 10 things. I got it down to 8 minutes for us, fellas. Okay, so we can kind of dig our heels into it because I'm really focusing on what he says in like the first 30 seconds because it doesn't have to be a fucking hour-and-a-half for 10 things, especially when they essentially amount to platitudes. But we're gonna watch him to get our take on it, and then I have some clips from Steven Crowder and then Frojax. So here we go.
Should be is fair. America should be fair. Now, not only should America be fair, America was created to be fair. That's the entire point of America. Well, it never has been fair. Yeah, well, okay. But that doesn't change the fact that that has always been the goal. And when you stop trying to find the goal, then you have no hope of ever achieving it, which derives from the inherent equality of all peoples because they share a common origin, which is God.
Ooh, how do you feel about that? The fairness coming from God. You know how that sounds to portions of the white dissident right? Right?
Tucker is talking about a concept called isonomia.
Okay.
Right, which is that the law applies the same to everyone. Now, this is something to be strived for in principle. You're never going to get it fully, obviously, right? I mean, especially as long as you can hire lawyers and stuff like that. And in a sort of white homogenous society, this worked quite well. In a multicultural society, you're going to have sort of significant difficulties actually doing this. But I think
competing interests, so to speak.
This is still a noble goal, and I get where he's going with it.
Now, do you understand how portions of society don't care about that because they know they're going to be continue to be not treated fairly, and very consequentialist, so to speak, attitude of I want unfair things to happen to other people because unfair things have happened to me, which I very much understand. So I understand how it's yeah, I know, dude. I guess it almost feels liberal. Like fucking 90s liberalism to a lot of people. It's yeah, I get it. It should be fair. I think we all agree on that.
But I mean, not only that, right?
Yeah.
There are some groups who believe sort of institutionally that they should follow different laws to everybody else. The Moors are like this. The Muslims are like this. The Indians are sort of like this.
They're allowed to lie to us in their book. That's not a good sign. We shouldn't let them hear.
So what are you going to do to counteract that? Are you going to make it against the law to do that? Good luck. This is my issue with Tucker's sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The only way any of this is going to come about is through some kind of crisis or ruction or violence. Unfortunately, I don't really think that these things can be solved through legislation.
And
anymore, just generally.
Now, when you bring up violence, that is only because it's what marginalized should mean. It's because the people are not being listened to. This is how when you say violence, you mean historically, not wanton violence, but historically, there's an uprising, right? Because the people's needs are not being addressed, or
I think force might actually be the better term, right?
Okay, yeah.
And this is what all the Lindsay-ites and the kosher centrists are fighting day and night to prevent, is the application of any kind of force in order to bring out about these conditions. Because I don't know, they believe that, the magic of democracy will rise out of its own butthole, and
it's never clear.
It's never clear. Again, not to say this again, but that conversation I had with classical liberal, where I was listen, the barbarians are inside the gate. They are raping and killing the women and children.
And what was his response?
It was we need to understand what the motivation of the barbarians are. And I was dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? These are the, if you've got those kind of people in your leadership, everyone in your settlement is going to die.
Do you need a guy to have a knife to his wife's throat and go, how are we feeling? We talking still? Where is your line? It has to really actually hit him over the head, apparently.
I am reminded of the comment by Yuri Bezmenov about how demoralization only ends once the boot impacts the testicles. And I think like literally, right? Like once someone is indoctrinated to a certain point, it is only when the boot impacts the testicles that they come to a sudden realization that reality differs fundamentally. And I think this is what it's coming to, you know?
We're getting there.
Of America from the Anglo world. That's what makes the West different from the East. That's why the East is solidly hierarchical and there's no hope. A poor person could ever get the same treatment or justice as a rich person, but in the West there has been. And that's why people moved here. We have to restore that first, fairness. The second thing that you need America to be is sovereign. What does sovereign mean? Sovereign means free from outside influence, the right to make decisions on your nation's behalf or your own behalf without being told what to do. Sovereignty is a synonym for freedom. The opposite of sovereignty is slavery. But
I'm unironically starting to feel like freedom is slavery, okay? Because usually freedom in a lot of contexts is like it's not really following Christ, okay? It's freedom to jerk off, smoke weed, and play video games. Like freedom.
No, that is license, not freedom.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
So look, Tucker is fundamentally incorrect. Okay. I mean, sovereignty does mean that a government, you know, is ruling its own country, but sovereignty does not really mean freedom. I mean, you could have a situation where the US is run by Indians, and you know they're American Indians. And they only look out for themselves.
Whoa, hey, they're Americans if they're here in my country.
Right?
Get it right.
They could totally oppress the local population, right? I mean, the Snazzies had sovereignty.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say fascists are very well known for being sovereign, right?
Yeah. So the idea that sovereignty equals freedom, I mean, it might apply in an ethnically and religiously homogenous society, but even then it's not.
That's what Frojax is really going to emphasize, in case you guys couldn't guess, all right?
Uh-huh.
more than that, people lose confidence in their own country. What is my country worth if we can't even make our own decisions? Of course, it gives a lie to the idea of a representative democracy. You don't represent.
Like, I was just going to complain about not being able to make my own decisions, and I forgot that you guys can't carry around mace, and I didn't say anything. And then I just said, this instead of saying that. So let's just continue.
Representing me, they're representing the lobbyists, and not just from Israel, by the way, from every big industry in the United States, from tech to pharma and telecom and all of them. But certainly to Israel. I mean, that's taking place in real time. And shouting at you that you're a Nazi or a bad person for noticing isn't really adequate. It doesn't answer the question, why is this okay? Because it's not okay. And everybody knows it's not okay. Foreign lobbyists, none. No more control of the agencies by industry, none. And no more government promotion of debt to high-interest moneylenders. It's all of a piece. Third, productive. A decent country is productive. Productive means that you make things worth having. From
yeah, I know. It's you make things worth. Do we have to start all the way from the fucking atom?
Man, this is such fucking vague posting.
So this is one of the issues people have with it, where it's like, yeah, these are like. Sometimes it feels like it's for children, right? It's kindergarten speak sometimes.
Look, it is for children because it's a feel-good political platform. He's just trying to do MAGA without Israel.
But who is this appealing to? It's not appealing. Like, this would appeal to the Lindsayites if it wasn't Tucker Carlson. They would essentially agree with many of these things.
They're appealing to the people who feel betrayed by Trump, and they are probably trying to appeal to the parts of the left that haven't lost their mind. Yeah, would be my guess.
Yeah.
You derive joy, that improve the lives of other people, or that just are inherently beautiful. There was a thing called art at one point. Leads to the next thing that America is, always has, and should continue to be, which is beautiful. If you were to have left the United States, I don't know, 40 years ago, 1986, and you went somewhere far away, I don't know, Uzbekistan, and you came back, probably the first thing you would notice, other than it's way more crowded than it was 40 years ago, is that it's less attractive than it was 40 years ago.
Yes, sir.
I feel like the thing I would notice is all the migrants.
Okay.
Right? Like,
yes.
like when I come back to the UK, what I notice is all the migrants, and they have really ugly buildings. This was the thing even when I was fucking like growing up, right? Like a bunch of like Lebanese moved into Australia, and their way of like doing houses is they like pave over everything in the front yard. It's just I don't know. Like they're big on Formica and all these kinds of like stuff. Does he even mention mass migration like at all in this?
Well, it's so long, dude. It was like an hour and fucking however many minutes. It was over an hour. Okay, a lot of this could have been a lot more concise. But it's almost like we're in the gulag, and fucking Tucker Carlson's like, you know what? We ought to be able to go outside whenever we want. It's like, yeah, we all agree. I think we ought to earn a living wage and get breaks for work. Yeah, I know. I know. Like, the conditions are so bad right now that he's saying these platitudes. It's almost insulting.
Ardy, I think what we need to do is whip around, make a petition, and present it to the camp commissar. Right? Like, that's short. That's going to change some things.
It was, and if you're old enough to remember, always one of the great appeals of this country. Allowing your public transit, your subways, to be filled with urine and graffiti. What is that? It's an attack on your population. Because we're...
Did he say the line? I believe he did.
What is that?
He nailed it. He nailed it.
That Tucker is a ninja.
What is
that man urinating in the corner, hopped up on crack? We call that Africanus ninjari.
Tucker at 16 years old. What is that?
What is that?
Human beings who need beauty. It feeds our soul. You don't have to be a liberal art major from Bennington to believe that. It is true for every human being at every point in time. Beauty is essential, and a society that does not produce beauty probably won't continue. The next thing that America needs to be, and it's worth saying so out loud, is healthy.
You think?
And that means, of course, physically healthy, but also spiritually healthy, clear-eyed and bright. It's not shameful to want that. There was a time when health was taken for granted as a goal, when being physical.
Now, fair enough. Like in the JFK days, there was like this. What was it called? In high school in like the 60s, they had this like presidential like fitness test, I think is what it was.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they did. That's right. That's right.
So I mean that I definitely agree with. But now you can't make kids do anything. You can't make them do anything. You can't smack them. You can't hit them. You can't scare them. They'll just die rather than listening to you. My fucking friend works at an alternative school, dude, and it's crazy.
Like, how are you supposed to do that in like Compton or like Atlanta or Memphis or like
suburbs, dude? Like, no, even in areas where you think you'd be able to have a regular high school experience is fucked. At least in the Boston area, dude. I don't know if you have good schools out there, but even the good schools are just the less shitty schools.
Yeah, right.
Physically robust and mentally alert were kind of expected, and of course, not everyone met those standards, very much including me. But those were the standards. But at a certain point, as part of the general decay and perversion of the society, health became redefined into something that doesn't resemble health, and the goals changed. So it's important to restate them. What does health mean? It means being physically robust, capable, to the extent you can be, active, and it means being clear-minded. It means being sober, honest.
This is like the Schoolhouse Rock of like fucking political opinions.
You know who else promoted health and fitness among the white population? Mustache Man. I swear that's like
okay.
What they see, right? Like all these like young, fit white kids are like, no.
That guy drank milk and worked out, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Lying, which is part of the human condition, of course, we all lie, hopefully less than we want, but lying is bad. And it's always bad. It's one of those universal principles referenced earlier.
Did you know lying was bad?
Well, yes, I did.
Were you aware of that? Okay.
I am aware of that, yes.
I heard that, and I just went to the next one.
That never changes. It is always bad to lie. The next,
I couldn't listen to. He might have said something valuable there. I was so insulted when I heard that. I had to just go to the next one.
Thing you'd like.
Right, I mean, look,
we should demand
to be fair though, right? He is making an important point. Far too many people think that like there's no downside to lying. You see it all the time. It's all through the political class. It's all through like our method of governance.
We have to lie to win, Fist. Okay, we have to lie.
No. But what I'm talking about is that the idea that you would explain to the people what it is that you want them to do and the reason behind it, like honestly, has gone totally by the wayside. The idea now is you want a certain outcome from the people, and you then hire like a PR firm to think of the best lie that will get move the people to your desired objectives. COVID was the best example of that I can think of.
I refuse to think that the left is smart in any capacity. And one could say that I'm underestimating them. But when you have the power to, when my roommate was playing Madden, to make it say end racism in the end zone, I'm like, they are surrounding us with this. Literally.
Wait. They end racism in the end zone?
The END zone. It's American football terminology. I'm so sorry.
I see. Right. End zones in the chat, boys.
But they surrounded us with propaganda. They weren't clever. They didn't care about their messaging. They get to say Black Lives Matter, abolish the police. They get to say whatever they want. So it really comes down again to having power. And then once they're in power, they can go balls to the wall, baby.
No. But they fucked it up. This is the point, right? Like, they couldn't even be intelligent about it. Like, they just like, fagging people.
Well, they enjoy lying. So, for example, if you're impoverished and you're ethical and you steal, you don't enjoy stealing and you stop stealing once you don't have to steal anymore. These are people that enjoy stealing even when they don't need anything. And that's why I say it's different when we do it. It would be different if we stole, because we would stole under a certain condition that was very important. You better have a good reason, right? So it's different when we employ these same things, is, I guess, my main point.
Is optimistic. Now, why optimistic? People misunderstand the term. Optimism is not simply the product of an act of will.
Oh my God, someone just said, now I know what NFL stands for. Oh, that's precious. I love it.
I'm choosing to be optimistic today. I'm going to be in a sunny mood regardless. I'm choosing to be happy. You can do that, and you should do that if you can. But optimism is also the product of systems. The way things are structured either encourages optimism or it guarantees pessimism. And what would you want to do to your kids? Educate them? Obviously.
Now, I do like the wisdom line, and this stuck with me from Charlie Kirk, the difference between knowledge and wisdom. I always called it like a universal knowledge or universal principle, but even like, I mean, for the last 20 years, I would try to find something that is true in as many situations as possible, is how I would describe it. Turns out that was seeking wisdom.
See, I learned that from Dungeons and Dragons. See, in Dungeons and Dragons, no, I'm serious, right? In Dungeons and Dragons, right, there's two different stats. There's intelligence and there's wisdom. And intelligence is the domain of the magic user, like, the wizard. And wisdom is the domain of the cleric, who's like the religion. And there's like a distinct difference between the two. So,
yes, definitely.
Not, you want to make them wise. So wisdom is the goal. Living in a wise country is the goal. Now, how is it different from education? Well, education is what we have.
One could say surround yourself with whites. I don't know what demographic. Now, this would make somebody really frustrated with Christianity, right? Like, this is, especially people in their mind seeing whites being treated so unfairly, and then he's like, hey, us. And they're thinking, Tucker, who the fuck is us, buddy? Okay, who exactly is us? Now, Steven Crowder isn't going to have an issue with it there. His issue is going to come from Tucker seeming like he wants to do a third party. And saying that like the left and the right are the same thing. I also take issue with acting like the left and right are the same thing. I think the left is the worst thing. But
He does want a third party, actually. Let me just quickly show you this.
Yes, sir.
So one of my many spies sent me
a little bit of inside info, huh?
Right? The group chat.
He does. This motherfucker knows people in the background.
Oh yeah.
It comes up every once in a while, and he goes, "Don't worry about it, Eddie." I'm like, okay.
Hey, also wanted to mention to you, and you probably saw Tucker Carlson, Thomas Massey, Joe Kent, Marjorie Taylor Greene are starting a new political party. I'm going to give you some inside baseball info. It's going to be made public here shortly. They are making a new party. They are going to infiltrate and take over the Libertarian Party using the Mises Caucus. Found this out at the LNC. I presume that's the Libertarian National Convention.
Well, good luck with the reputations that libertarians have en masse in the country. Well, I guess you're better off starting a new fucking party.
Well, probably not. Like, I don't know how hard it is to start a new political party in the US.
They have name recognition. What are you talking about? The Libertarian Party didn't have any fucking names.
No, Ardy, like the actual bureaucracy that you have to go through to start a new political party is famously dense because the people in power do not want other people starting political parties. Trust me on this. It's probably an intelligent move.
All right, well, let's see how that goes.
Education is a credentialing system whereby some tax-exempt institution issues you a document showing that you have been, quote, educated. And lost in that process is any real check on whether you have an education, whether you know anything or understand anything of great value. And increasingly, with some exceptions, but increasingly, it is obvious to everybody that that system is completely broken. it turns out people without.
This is what I'm saying. Someone in chat, Sarazar, said the DSA is taking over the DNC. Yeah, that's that. I'm going to expound upon that and the Crowder after this.
Skills, without an understanding of how things work, wisdom. We want wise leaders.
Yeah.
Replaced by the next generation.
That'd be
of wise
nice.
Children. The second to last thing America should be is decent.
Damn, this really feels like New Hampshire, Idaho, Wyoming. He's describing it. These places all kind of already seem to exist in the United States. I wonder what they have in common.
What is it about those places? I can't put my finger on it, man. Maybe if you imported like 1 billion more Bamalins to all those places, the answer would sort of, reveal itself. They have so much to teach us. You know what I mean?
I would love to just show this video to somebody from the 1950s. They would go, "What the fuck happens in the future? What? What do you mean you want those things? It didn't even occur to me to want that."
Decent, pro-human, in favor of people, putting the needs of other people before the needs of.
I'm starting to see what you're saying with the political party aspect. This it contextualizes it a lot more. Because without knowing that, I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about right now?" It's so vague.
It's a political platform. It's vague posting. It's feels posting, right? They're going to scoop up all of the people who are disappointed with MAGA, and they're going to have a go at it. I mean, I don't know,
systems or machines or abstract concepts. Decency, caring about individuals. That's always been obvious that the United States was a decent country. There's no other country on earth where you can break down and ask directions and get them quicker from a larger group of eager to help strangers.
I think there's a lot of places you can do that. And I think, for some reason, even though it's in Africa, you know where you can do that? Orania.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Do you know if a black person goes into Orania, I should pull up the video. And he's like, "The bikes aren't locked up." It's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I don't understand." "Yeah, that's why you're visiting. This is why this is not your residence." Right. You don't understand that.
Those shifty Africans leaving their bikes unlocked. This is truly the emergence of South African fascism.
The South African accent's not easy. That was a mighty good try.
No country that loves dogs more. There's no country that's sweeter in some ways than the United States.
Talking about loving dogs. Someone just said a dog right now as you said that.
But in recent years, decency has been under attack. And not just sexual decency, the decency police, but human decency, kindness, regard for others, more fast food outlets than any other country. Like, what is the reason to be proud of being American? Well, it's a beautiful country, and it's a decent country. And that's kind of it.
See, we didn't mention the people. That's where it's coming into play with the nationalists adequately named.
What was Lindsay's objection to this? Because he's got one because he fucking hates Tucker like so much. Wait,
it's gotta be. As this is playing, try and find something. It's gotta be fucking incoherent. It's gotta be.
It's probably his like demon or something. Do you know underneath, you can't see it on camera, he has a fucking Arby's sandwich. Mate, right? Look right, confirmed.
I mean, look at Tucker's face right now, okay? That means possessed by a demon. Maybe James Lindsay is right. He has the stare, that 1,000-yard stare. Hope no one screen caps that.
Because economies rise and fall. Business cycles are real. Wars are lost. A lot of stuff happens.
Very good, Tucker.
On the way from here to 500 years from now. But the things that we can control, beauty and decency, those are enduring and they matter more than anything else. So if we give up on that, we've given up on everything. And the last thing, and maybe the most important thing,
maybe we should all get along, fellas. Okay, let's be united.
This country needs to be is united.
Wow.
It needs to be a nation, and Americans need to be a people.
See, now a nation and a people. Yeah.
Oh, mate. Oh, you don't. Oh, he's splitting, mate. He's making googly eyes. He's like.
By definition, it can't continue without that. It's too big. No country can continue without a sense of itself as a nation, and countries that fall didn't, and that's why they fell. And it's not easy, because this nation doesn't have a working majority of almost anything, not a race, not a religion.
You see how vague he's being, and that is kind of frustrating at these trying times. I guess I'm starting to understand how they felt against, Rupert Lowe. But I would understand that more. Like, you're in this position, Tucker, because you're not in political office. But then, if you're telling me he's trying to form this into some sort of political party, now that would make, if true, that would make much more sense.
So, okay, so listen, to be fair, Restore do have like actual policies. They've got a policy branch. They've got like
Right.
a lot of bright people actually writing policy. At the moment, this is just Tucker vague posting. If when they launch their party, if they have a policy platform, I will definitely read it. But at the moment, until there is any actual policy, like this is the thing, policy is where the rubber meets the road. Okay. Like, so you have all the, we're going to like do this and this principle and that principle. And then you've got to distill that down into, we'll write a law that does that, right? We will revoke this. We will put money towards X and Y. That's what it really comes down to.
Ethnic background, history, culture. And if it continues along that path, of course, it will break up. You will find parts of the country simply have nothing in common with other parts of the country. So why would the interstate highway system continue? There are smart people who have been saying this for a long time. It's not to say there aren't natural differences between people. Of course there are, including between races. Of course there are. But are they bigger than the things we have in common? No, they're not.
Ooh, baby. Those differences we have, they're just small differences, okay? We have a lot more in common. Now we have our classical liberalism take. That's essentially what that take would be, right?
Right. Yep.
But they've been exacerbated and inflamed.
Now this is true. Now this is true with I feel like people who hate the Marxists and like the fucking leftists, like your Andrew Wilson or your Steven Crowder, I feel like they have a lot more grace between our differences because a lot of times the biological determinists will ignore all of the environmental factors. It's been 100 years. It's been 100 years of fucking propaganda on both sides, so I know that race does exist, but also there has been an intentional, generations-long manipulation to pin us against each other. An extra amount. We would have been pinned against each other in some way anyway, okay?
How did that mainly start? It started with the Civil Rights Act. If you want to... They've done this experiment like a bunch of times, by the way, right? You get a classroom full of kids, you go in, and you randomly select half of them, and you give them special privileges for no reason. And then you take shit away from the other half for no reason. And you, you just elevate one half of the class above the other.
Yeah.
It causes massive conflict. If you want to stop that shit, revoke all the civil rights crap.
Right.
Let the whites, build their own communities if they want to. And I reckon, give it, I don't know, a couple of decades, shit would probably quiet down and everyone would be it wouldn't be perfect, but the current situation where you have groups of people that literally have private law, the actual meaning of privileges, laws that apply to certain groups that don't apply to other groups, that just creates endless conflict, which is one of the reasons, by the way, that the moves have a tendency to create conflicts in societies, because their whole thing operates on this idea that they deserve a privileged status, and so sooner or later it starts trickling through the rest of society.
Now that experiment was predicated on things taken away for no reason. Now imagine how much the reaction would have been exacerbated if instead of for no reason, it's that it's owed to you and it's the fault of the other people. They would probably really, really exacerbate the tension. So I know that for some people, environmental factors don't matter that much, okay? But for others, it's kind of flipped, where it's, 20, 30, 40%, okay? It's an amount. It's an amount of biology, okay? However, denying, they convinced the whites to be gay and cut their dicks off. Environment can play a huge role, is what the other side is trying to say.
That's not environment. That's fucking propaganda. That's your environment.
No, that's environment. 100%.
Right. Well, I mean, okay, right. That's like saying environment can play a big part, because if you dump a whole shitload of cyanide into a lake, all the fish start dying. Yeah. Right. It's when you say environment, it suggests a sort of neutral thing. It's not.
We haven't had that for 100 years though. So I mean, that has been the the environment I was surrounded in, I just thought it was my environment. And I was propaganda my entire life. But it was still the environment that I was in, and I can show you, behind the paywall.
No, I agree.
Videos, how it shaped my brain. But I guess that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That could be another solo stream where I have you on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
Highlighted as part of a long-term project to divert our attention from what is now very obviously true, which is that both parties have colluded against the population to make their lives better and our lives worse. There's kind of no arguing that that's a fact at this point.
Terrific. Now we have those opinions out and about, and these are going to be, this is moderate pushback before we get to Frojax's absolute fucking laugh fest destruction, as one could imagine.
Okay. Let's go first to the biggest threats facing America. Now, you know, my position is Marxism. And that's really the only thing I need to...
That's where I come from, is the anti-communist. That's what really set me off on this journey. And, as I always say, fellas, that leads you to the JQ. That's where it leads you. The only difference between an anti-communist and a right-winger is JQ. That's it. They don't call themselves an anti-communist because they're JQ. Only an anti-communist calls themselves that because they're afraid of criticizing the moose. That has been the only difference I've seen. And I came from that camp a couple of years ago.
List because it encompasses all of it. Marxism, the primary difference, Marxism, communism. Marxism includes communism, but also the social aspects. Marxism is the ideological backbone for everything downstream, and that would...
And obviously we would say moose, right? I understand that. But he has a large audience. He had Trump's son on his show. He is closer to power than us. Do we understand this? Okay? He's also...
He knows.
He's also...
He knows.
What do you mean? What?
I think Crowder knows. Like I think
you know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot of times I'll get some shit because he's not saying all the things that we want him to say, and it's like, gee, he's closer to power. This is what you have to lie. Don't say why would he say that stuff? Your message goes further if you call it Marxism, as has been shown with James Lindsay. He was on Joe Rogan 2 years ago. Look at him now. He got all that fucking fame off of anti-communism. That is an excellent gateway. And you can talk about communism all day long on YouTube. You don't have to worry about getting... I don't have to change any words to talk about commies. I do with the moose. So like that is like the mass entry point for people that don't want to be liberals, don't want to be on the left, or want to go more toward the right.
Include feminism, right, which is the destruction of the nuclear family and changing fundamentally of the American workplace, the LGBTQ mafia, DEI, population replacement, great replacement theory, internationalism, globalism, Islamism, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, a giant welfare state.
98% of that is mooish. I understand that. I understand that. That's why you come here to hear that, okay? We can talk about that. We're not going and talking to any of these, like, we're not close to power, okay? We're very peripheral to things for a very intentional reason. So we can talk about these things, but not everyone's going to talk about what we're talking about. Otherwise, we'd be hit out of a job fist, right? Fuck, we got to say something different, right?
Yeah.
Elitism, oligarchs, because once we've created a giant welfare state and they've seized the means of production, distribution, well, then you only have a few people in charge. So Marxism, to me, and especially if you see the left at play, is the biggest threat that the United States and Western civilization faces. That's where you follow the left. It's easy to see how they all line up lockstep. You just have to see it through the Marxist lens.
And it's really difficult to have this universalist position when you know that either the moos or the commies have to be your enemy. You can't have it. You have to have rhetoric for your people. You know you're not going to gain them, and you shouldn't want them at the same time. They are people that are beyond redemption. Would you say that? I know you hate saying that, but how would you phrase it? If I was going to say people beyond redemption, obviously you don't want to say that, but how would you mark them as people that have to be enemies essentially indefinitely, so to speak?
Yeah, well, that's tricky.
All right.
It's doubtless true. But you don't know, man.
Right.
This gets to Fed posty territory very, very quickly, right? Because, like, you know,
if someone's beyond redemption, then what do you do with them?
Correct. So I'll just
you coexist with them. I mean,
I'll leave that question just unanswered. I do.
Oh, that's not how I intended it. I say they're beyond redemption under a Christian ethic. Okay.
Right.
I say that they're beyond redemption. They are not choosing redemption. Okay. And then what I would say is, well, similar to how do they get us to bend the knee? I always appeal to them and go, okay, they do struggle sessions, right? They very much imply force. They utilize any sort of power they have. All I would be doing is using their tactics, which seems to be YouTube safe.
The right can't really use the same tactics of the left because the right is not as into lying and manipulating. as the left is. This is
I'll
the
get
thing,
us there.
right? Like
Fast, I'll
all
get us
that
there.
all that struggle sessiony bullshit, all that like brainwashing, all that kind of like crap is
know.
much more a left-wing phenomenon because the left believe that words create everything in society. The right are much more, you know.
I would have to
reality.
I have to write this down. I've had this idea in my head for like 2 years now. So the right wing is kind of the opposite of Marxist, let's say, as a starting point of epistemology, okay?
Yes.
Marxism is just inverted comedy. Marxism, remember when Babylon Bee was like predicting crazy things that they would do like 10 years out? Yeah, they actually do those things, right?
Yeah.
Comedy is just a joke. We're not really going to do those things, but we have to move on. But I need to expound upon that because I swear you could just invert a lot of Marxism and you arrive at comedy. And the right that does a lot of good with comedy. But let's continue.
Okay, let's go to Tucker Carlson in his outline. The biggest threats facing the United States. He lists 3: nuclear war, AI, and the elite looting.
So we are moving toward on this.
That's Tucker going every time he says something.
Trajectory, if it holds, we are moving toward a nuclear exchange because you have 2 conflicts, one in the.
And so that continues. Now, a huge issue that he has is going to be what Tucker Carlson said at the end, which will be encapsulated right. Yeah.
Nuclear weapons. Considering that we have them, Russia has them, China has them, Pakistan. I don't know. I think deterrent is really the only option that we have. Let's pressure test now, look at some of the premises that he presents, because he uses that to springboard to his plan. The first claim, the first premise, he makes it clear that both parties, Republican and Democrat, are exactly the same. It's a uniparty.
Will it be a third party? Probably. The most radicalizing fact of American politics in the last, century is the confirmation that we got on or about February 28th that the parties on the big issues are identical. Trump initiates the one thing he said he'd never do, a regime change war in the Middle East against Iran, a country much bigger and more powerful than the last regime change we attempted, which didn't work. And there were no protests against it because, of course, the leaders of the other party, his supposed enemies, agreed with him completely.
There were plenty of protests.
As they did with his budget, fundamentally, certainly with the tax code that he endorsed. And that tells us what? One thing, at least, that on the issues that really matter, the most obvious and historically significant expressions of the exertion of power, which would be foreign policy and the budget, tax code, the parties are aligned.
Okay, here's the truth.
Whenever I hear that, I'm hearing fucking Brillium fucking say it, okay? It's
Yeah,
really
but-
hard for me to fucking hear that and not view it as subversive. Please continue.
The British version of that is "Let me be clear." Yeah, yeah. It's one of those like trigger phrases when someone's like about to fucking bullshit you.
Right, but to say that they're both this, so then it's like, but why would the right want to do anything for its constituents? So what we have to understand is for Trump to get anything done, no matter how infiltrated he is, okay? Do you think the left is helping him? Okay?
No.
No matter what he tries to do, they literally throw their bodies in the way of fucking cars for fucking ICE raids. And I know you say, I don't care, kill them, okay? Well, if you don't care, get the fuck out of politics then, okay? They have to care. I know you don't care. That's why you're there. They have to act like they care. They can't just go out doing that because you think, well, he's the president, he can go and do that. Who do you think created, not the laws, but the excessive litigation in the country? The left. Where'd they get it from? The Moos. They know how to immediately. They have judges in their fucking pocket. It's not as easy as you think it is to get things done in this country, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And so it makes sense to, at the very least, concede that Trump would be better than Kamala. That's why when Nick Fuentes said, oh, I bet you wish you have Kamala, it's like, this isn't a joke. It sucked. And this is a refuge for the West, the United States, okay? The more Democrats we have in positions of power, the DSA is already fucking infiltrating. I take it seriously. I remember what my life was like under Biden. As soon as Biden was president, then all of a sudden, the COVID restrictions were lifted. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
you sneaky fucking motherfuckers.
You
you sneaky fucking bastards.
It didn't just affect America either, right? Like Biden was a big reason, and you know the crap that Biden enabled was a big reason why all that shit was like flying in the UK. I mean, we had like a conservative government, and they just did everything that. Well, we now
it's the
know that
roadmap,
basically Bill Gates.
Yeah,
right. But like, why did no one stand up to Bill Gates?
He's a huge man. What is he, like 7'2"? He's a very commanding presence.
That's a false equivalency. And I'll prove it to you. Also, the issues that really matter. He shifts the goalposts. So two things happen. False equivalency, goalpost shifting. So the big, beautiful bill includes $1.7 trillion in mandatory savings or cuts. Then we have other cuts, $215 billion from DOGE, not as much as I would like. Cuts to SNAP, Medicaid, student loans, the size of the federal.
Now, most people don't care about any of these small things that they're doing, okay? And I understand that, right? But what do you, I mean, I guess I'm just like, annoyingly pragmatic? Where it's like, I don't know, did he do better than fucking a Bush? Or like, I don't know. He seemed to move the needle so we can have this conversation about what we actually want in the party as well. We're really underselling how things would be with fucking Kamala Harris as president.
Listen, man, if Trump hadn't gone to war with Iran,
yeah,
and he just like focused more on the deportations, everyone, like not everyone, but a lot of people would still be behind him.
Sure.
It was the freaking like Iran war after like no new wars. Read my lips. The Iraq war was a terrible idea. Oh, so now you're gonna go like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Alex Jones' son, Rex Jones, had the same conversation with Andrew Wilson, where Andrew Wilson goes, "What's the alternative? If you don't want to vote for the Republicans, what's the alternative?" And he like doesn't answer because no one answers.
Yeah.
If they answer, it's something fucking fantastical. We'll make a new party, and as you just said. Not even easy for fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene and fucking Tucker Carlson to fucking accomplish, okay? It has to be the GOP. What else would it be? And you go, oh, well, you're fucking cucking. I'm being realistic. And I know that we say edgy words and stuff like that, right? But then when there's larger creators, and here's the thing, Steven Crowder came toward the white side in the last 6 months. And he openly said it like, yeah, I have to align with whites. I tried talking to these fucking blacks in the barbershop. I fucking tried. And I have to, I'm pushing this way. He literally fucking was pushing fascism a couple of weeks ago. It's like, I don't know. I'm a fan of accelerationism with incrementalism. And those should be working in conjunction with each other. I feel like our accelerationism is working not with our incrementalism. Yes. I'm off my soapbox now.
No, I'm just saying, right? 2.5 years is a long time in politics. A long time. It is impossible to predict how shit's going to shake out. Look at all the crap that's currently happening. Like, you know, the entire Western world could be in an energy and financial crisis like 6 months from now. Just saying, like,
yes.
It's hard to predict how this is going to like shake out. I'll be watching with interest. That's all, you know.
It has to be entertainment. I kid.
Oh, yeah,
no other option. All right, let's go.
If they have like energy lockdowns, okay, and they like do like the COVID thing, and everyone gets stimmy checks, we can just lock ourselves inside and just like stream.
I mean, what else are we gonna do? I mean,
precisely. That's my point.
You did that alone, and I wasn't streaming and did it alone. Okay, this time around will at least be a little easier.
Yeah, that's right.
Knowing we know now. Okay, let's go to, let's see if Steven Crowder agrees about lobbying in the country.
Because we've had to live with it. Here's another specific that he offers. He says we need to stop foreign influence. By the way, I agree.
The goal is sovereignty. No more foreign lobbyists, none.
Very much agree. And I've said that AIPAC should register under FAIR. I know that that's the undertone here. Agree. They can go screw themselves with a wire brush. Also, by the way, all lobbying for the nation of Israel as it relates to our military subsidization of the country they're in. But I also would apply this to the single largest foreign lobbies that exist. The numbers since 2016. Biggest. China. Japan. Funny enough, Liberia.
So he makes the point of not just Israel, but all lobbying. And some people on the dissident right are going to say, well, you're taking the focus off of Israel. And it's like, well, why are we giving money to China? It's also a good point. There's a difference between being pro-America and anti-Israel, okay? What he is saying is like, okay, well, if we're going to do that, let's fucking clear the whole thing out, as opposed to just saying for it, because you know it's going to be other countries before Israel anyway, right? So you might as well not make Israel the focus and make the other countries the focus as well.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's our own money being given back to us, if you understand the history of Liberia, which most people don't, because who cares about Liberia?
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, Marshall Islands, again, our own money being given back to us. South Korea, Bahamas, UAE, Qatar. Israel's number 10. Then you look at Qatar, they are the single largest.
Israel is number 10. Israel is also the most unique, okay? And I understand that. But he's making an overarching point.
And also, there are a lot of things that Israel gets in kind. So, right, like in terms of like sheer money, probably not the top, but in many, many other ways. Like there's more than just money to like wield influence.
We just stopped paying for their economy in I think 2003 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we still pay for their economy, but now we don't say that we pay for their economy. But we have been paying for them to exist as a country, $3 billion a year, average. By today's money, by the way, $3 billion a year since 1948.
What about all the migration NGOs? Like that is the
quote unquote Christian ones, right?
You could the Christian ones that are like headed by fucking Steinberg and co. You mean right? They could just shut those down. They could just write an executive order and be like, "Highest, you're shut down," right? But oh no,
they really can't. They must be. If you can prevent whites from having NGOs, can't you do something about these other NGOs? There must be. Can we just borrow one of their moo lawyers and I don't know, put a coin in front of him but tie him down? He goes, "Fine, I'll tell you how to do it." Something. Can we do some sort of torture technique like that? That's humane to let us know how to shut down these NGOs.
You could feed pennies into one of those shredder things in front of them. You're like, no, not the pennies.
Right, we let them go and we go, fine, you can glue them back together. Okay. See, there's ways to get around it on YouTube.
Largest influencer of universities by far.
Massively.
Far. Tucker has not only not had a problem with him, he said that he may, and I think this was facetious, purchase a home in Doha. I'm not saying he's a Qatari agent. People go out there. I wouldn't make that claim without evidence. But he's been very, very pro-Qatar. Here's how you know when people say Qatar. That just happened. It was a meeting that we never had. So you got to say Qatar now. All right, okay. So yes, how about all of it? I agree. Let's go to the next prescription that's issued. We need to stop importing people, specifically that relates to AI displacing jobs. I also agree.
You can have any more immigration of any kind is because of AI. So you can't simultaneously say we're going to eliminate a third of all American jobs in the next 5 years, but we need a lot more people coming into this country for work. It doesn't even make any sense at all. And so it's not an attack on any other country or group when you say, I'm sorry, we don't know what's going to happen in this country. We're going to have 100 million people without work. Probably not a great time to bring in new people. In fact, it would be crazy to bring in new people, and it wouldn't be.
Now, do you see how he arrives on not bringing in new people, but not for the same reason that others on the dissident right have, right? Sure, it comes to the same conclusion, but not really with the same reason. Well, question mark there.
Good for those people either.
I completely agree with you. Now, remember, under President Trump, when you're talking about importing people, let's do importing legally. H-1Bs, huge issue. 87% reduction in new H-1Bs. They use the term overseas. That means people from outside America coming in, taking American jobs. An 87% reduction in H-1Bs. Again, executive order. 94% reduction.
Yeah.
Pause it. Okay, look. No one wants to address this. As long as you have unlimited emission of money, inflation will erode the value of everything. The primary driver of inflation is wages. Therefore, it puts immense downward pressure on wages, which incentivizes the importation of other populations that you can pay less wages to.
See, we don't need no F-slurry libertarians on the dissident right. See? This is how to take care of.
To give you an idea of what it is I'm talking about, go back and watch Married with Children. Okay?
Oh, no. This
Bundy,
is
whatever
really good point.
whatever his name is.
Al Bundy.
Okay? Al Bundy, okay, was a poor slob. He had an entire house. Only one person in that house worked.
I'm going to cry.
He could support an entire family. He had a car. It has been estimated that a minimum wage job, back in, I think it's the 50s, is basically $100,000 now.
That was a single income household.
You are never going to fix any of these problems unless you fix the unlimited emission of money.
Yeah, but what about Zoran Mamdani doing $30 an hour minimum wage? Doesn't that help it? Do you like how it went from 15 to 30 in fucking 4 years?
And then it'll go to 45, and then it'll go to 60. And
I
then
just
it'll go
want
to
a $500 billion bill. Is that so much to ask for?
Look, man, hang around long enough, you'll probably fucking get one. Like, I mean, this is the problem. Okay, inflation, fiat money, fractional reserve banking is basically like heroin. At first, it's like basically fine. Indeed, right? Like people, they perk up, they have this like little honeymoon period, right? You meet them, you're like, oh, you're like doing well. Yeah, I got some like new meds, but then slowly it erodes. Things get worse and worse and worse and worse. And once you've been doing it for like ages, it becomes harder and harder and harder to stop. And then generally what happens when people like want to get off it is they have some kind of crisis. This is the point I'm trying to make, Ardy, not like an accelerationist argument, but that without some kind of substantial crisis, no one is going to look at the unlimited emission of money. Not since 1913. It's been like 100 years since the invention of the Federal Reserve, which was supposed to, by the way, stabilize prices. And now,
they get to do. Hey, communism was supposed to help people. Oopsies.
It's fucking retarded. You literally had a situation before central banking where you just had like a bunch of banks and they all kept each other in check. It was a Scottish model. Worked basically fine. Oh no, occasionally you had a bank go bust. Yes, but the alternative is that the entire government goes bust and everyone is fucking impoverished. Some solutions to problems are worse.
But doesn't the government just help you at that point?
Fucking you can't. You can't print stuff.
But there's like 3D printers, right?
If all problems could be solved by the emission of little pieces of paper, then it would stand to reason that the society with the most little pieces of paper would be the most successful, and it's not fucking true.
That needs to be a quote with your name after it. that was literally such an impassioned way of saying that at the end.
I didn't invent that. I think it was like Mises who said
I was just going to say there wasn't an ounce of fat on that. Okay, now we're going to wrap it up with the third-party talk over here. Now, this has happened with Steven Crowder's conversation with Nick Fuentes, right? When he's talking about a different direction, dark horse candidate. So very much he's a pragmatist going, well, I'm all ears. I'm in the same camp as Crowder. I'm all ears. Give me something compelling. What do you have? I'm not just going to blindly say I'm going to follow a third party.
To 100%. If it's a third party, what are the mechanisms of action that this third party would utilize to bring that 87 to 100%, to bring that 94 to 100%? I am all ears because I would like to see them both at 100%. And then how are you going to circumvent the same feckless Republicans who are there now and the Democrats who, by the way, are growing? We're seeing their power swell precisely because of this kind of rhetoric. So let's say a third party. Let's say it's a third party that's bigger than Ralph Nader or Ross Perot. Let's say it's the most successful third party. Great. How do you get that number from 87 to 100? How do you get that number from 94 to 100? And what do you do with the DSA? What do you do with the John Thunes of the world? How do you deal with them? How is the third party going to fix that and be better than an 87 and 94% reduction?
And the issue is it sounds like the third party is open to working with them. Okay? I haven't heard of a third party not working with them.
It's the money. These people you are up against have ungodly amounts of money. And money, more than money, things that money cannot buy: influence, prestige, the ability to
coordination,
people, right? Coordination. They know all the best hookers. They know all the best.
No,
tailors,
I meant
right?
politically.
You want to know what fucking happened to Jordan Peterson, right? That is what fucking happened to Jordan Peterson. Okay, he started hanging out with these kind of people. They're like, "Hey, Jordan, right? Like, I can introduce you to the best tailors. Oh yes, we know all the best restaurants." Some people are absolutely one-shotted by that crap. Right?
A really good point.
The money. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm going to build upon your energy. His jacket, his like two-colored jacket that he started wearing.
Yeah.
You can tell that like how he changed. Like he changed.
That jacket's worth like 10 grand, by the way, at least.
Right.
You know that, right? It's like custom made.
I would hope so.
Who do you think introduced him to the tailor that made that jacket? Oh, what? He just walked in off the street. Did he? No,
he looked it up. He got the idea.
He fell in with a group of people. And they're like, "Hey, Jordan, we really love your style. Have you met my tailor while we were lunching in Flubleckerflelch?" Right? Like, this is what fucking people don't get. This is why when you get like ordinary fucking like plebs and they ascend into the heights of political power, they get fucking one-shotted. They only pick the people who are susceptible to these kinds of blandishments.
Yes, and this is why Eric Arval, in his conversation with Devin Stack, from I think maybe a year ago. We're talking about parallel institutions. This is why Eric Arval tried to reach out to Nick Fuentes and talk about a school where their guys can go into, because you can't just send them into the belly. You have to tell them what the belly is going to try to do to them if you're going to have people that go in there and you want them to come out the same. So
unironically, I think Tucker would actually be quite resistant to it because he's already been through it and come out the other side. Right, like
I don't know where his heart is, though. I don't know what he really wants.
I don't either. But I'm just saying, right? If you tried to sidle up to fucking Tucker Carlson and said like, "I know the best, tailors in all of New York. Let's have lunch at Blackerfelch, and I'll introduce you to like a Ukrainian hooker." Tucker would just be like,
"Oh, very good, my good boy.
Very good, right?" Tucker would just be like, "Fuck off," right? Like, so I don't know.
Yeah, let us continue.
I thought both parties were the same on immigration. And here's what you see with Tucker. It's not a plan for America. It really was, that was a way to promote it. And I get it. You have to razzle dazzle people for social media. He addresses real issues that Americans are facing. You know who else did that? President Trump. Politicians always do that. They always claim that they're for you, and then very often you actually arbitrate. President Trump, this administration has done more than any other. There are absolutely issues, but it's not even close. It's not even close. And
in Stephen Crowder's defense, who looks up the good things Donald Trump has done in the past 6 months? It's not really something I guess you really actively search for.
The problem is,
yes,
mate, that the price of energy underlies everything else.
Yes,
this is the problem. This is why like Europe is in such a horrible state, right? If the price of energy goes up, the price of everything else goes along with it. Now they've been managing to like hold the price down so far, but it's risky. Should we do? Are we going on a Frojack? Should we do like super chats?
Super chats and Frojacks. Yeah, it rhymes, okay, so it must be.
They're piling up. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, I didn't see. I'm sorry. You're that guy that looks at that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
New gem for $10.
Hello there. And he's rocking.
Ardy, if you start doing Quan Mills book reviews, I think we can get him to write a book about buttery kipper.
What the fuck?
This hoe got a buttery kipper.
Is that
Quan Mills?
Like, is this what women feel like when a man harasses them over and over? Instead of asking for my number, he wants me to do Quan Mills book reviews. I've never actually felt harassed before. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Are you saying you're being texturally harassed?
This qualifies as harassment, okay?
Bonbon Nom for $5. Thank you, mate. If liberals say racism is prejudice plus power and you can't be racist against white people because they have most of both, is their platform white power?
There he goes thinking again. No, don't do that.
Matty Ice for $10.
The Iceman cometh.
It was incredible to see John Cleese call it the Mooish media. I found it white pilling. I'm watching Rat Race tonight for sure. Yeah, and the thing you've got to remember is that Cleese is probably a barometer of like this shit is finally leaking out to the boomers, which is great, honestly, because if the boomers like start turning, then there is actually hope. Dreadlord Mike for 50 secs. Thank you very much. It sounds like it's for children because his audience is boomers. Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's like lying. Lying is bad. Okay, let's talk about honesty for a second. Tell the truth. It feels good. Like, oh my god, dude, the fucking house is on fire.
Yeah.
I think we should get some water. Put this fire. We should start doing that now.
Fire? What is that? Taz at Tempo for $5. Thank you, mate. You don't need to lie, but to win, you have to give as little info as possible and focus purely on vibes to prevent attack. Then do what you need to do. Yeah.
You need to lie, okay? What the pro-whites want to do, if they were smart, they would just lie. Their rhetoric right now of only pure whites and kick out 100 million people, I don't know, that is politically unelectable. That is good locally, okay? I don't think that works nationally. Act like you're okay with them. Get power and kick them out. What good does it do you to go, here's exactly what we're going to do to you? You know who didn't do that? The Moos or the left. They didn't openly tell you what they were going to do to you. They lied! And it worked! Okay.
New jam for $10.
Thank you, mate.
Have a dancing chug. D&D wisdom is also perception, which means how you notice things. No, perception's a different stat than wisdom, I think. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played D&D. Thank you very much, Nuji. Sunday Mass for $5. Howdy, my favorite furry and baguette.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I think that's
Thank you very much.
Building on the back of a Remnants post, possibly. Or something else happened that I didn't know about.
Lancelot, 1,000 jewels.
1,000 jewels, mate.
1,000 jewels. Forky. Thanks very much. Ancient Hybrid for $5. If only we knew how vague things would get.
Dude.
Oh, it's so vague.
I know, but at such a time. You gotta be a little more specific.
Leningrad for $10.
There he is. Right-hand man in the chat.
Thanks, Lenny. Just a note for comparison, the Uni Party didn't take over by creating an overt political movement for their own interests. They co-opted everybody. Tucker's move is too honest to change the GOP. And you might be right.
I don't know. I don't know how honest it was. Well, honesty was one of the things in there, so I guess that part was honest, but I don't know how any of it manifests necessarily. It makes a great a political hallmark card, you know? Give that to your mom when she's politically interested. Remember that?
Yeah.
Warm huggies.
J6 version 2.0 for $10.
Oh, yeah, Brav.
Tucker's under the impression the right and left can unite under something, not knowing that there is no left anymore. It's just a bunch of foreigners here to loot versus everybody else. Yeah.
It do be like that.
And also, there's no freaking way the left can give up their anti-white bullshit. But
that's why you cannot talk about all of the people in the country as if there's not a war going on. You can't do that because you have to always point out, and Trump has done a good job of this. I haven't heard. It was exciting that he called out Antifa. I thought nobody was ever going to call out fucking Antifa for the rest of my life. So it was nice that he called out, and now the communism is being called out and whatnot. It's like, they do not want to work with you. You cannot trust them. You cannot do anything for them, with them, at all. You can't even do it a little bit.
Chew the chickens for $5. Reminder, for a multinational state to exist, there must be a surveillance state to enforce it. Cough, flock, cough. Yeah, precisely. There must be a tyranny to support it, essentially. Yeah. Leningrad for another $5. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Rev.
Mass electoral politics versus organized lobbying and minority politics. Hard to evaluate their roles and who's doing what, not just talking heads. Yeah, it's a complicated thing. Origin Party for 5 Canadian loonies.
Yeah.
Would you rather miscegenate a Khazar but no milkers? So you mean a tiny titty Khazar? Or turn a BTGG. What the hell does that mean?
What the fuck?
But no A55 commie capitalist. Find me on X, YouTube, Rumble at Argent Party. Like and share the stream. I don't know what a
BTGG, fellas. I'm gonna need to know what that is real quick because I need to answer this.
Oh, a big titty goth girl.
Right.
Or turn a big titty goth girl, but
with no ass.
With no ass.
You're talking to a tit. You're talking to a tit man. You're talking to a tit man. What the fuck are you talking about? You think I haven't taken a hit on the cheeks to get the titties? Come on, dude. The tits are just a fucking ass on the chest. Come on. That's too easy.
The ass of the chest.
Polish women have no ass but giant tits, all right? I've had me a Pole in my day.
Yeah, I'd have to go for the goth girl.
Hey, once they bend over, the hips take care of it, all right? That's too easy. Dude, titties.
Leningrad for $5.
I like boobies. What kind of question is that? I'm sorry, I'm just kidding.
Leningrad for $5. There was so much goodwill and plausible deniability before Iran. We should be thankful for what we got and keep an eye on the future. Well, yes, unless the Iran thing blows up like massive. Remember when they were trying to start the war and all the people like pointing out this was a terrible fucking idea, and Shapiro and like, oh, you guys are all panicking. Look at you, panic. Everything's going to be fine. And now, right, everyone's like, this could get much worse. And they're still doing, like, no, relax, guy.
Wasn't fucking, on top of being the deporter-in-chief, didn't fucking Obama do a shitload of drone strikes as well during his fucking presidency? I mean,
Yeah.
like, are we acting like there's gonna be fucking peace with the Democrats plus all the fucking bullshit domestically in my fucking country?
There's peace and there's peace. I ain't like
There's peace,
no,
and then there's you're in pieces.
No, I'm just saying, right? Like if you're gonna like maintain a hegemonic empire, a few like drone strikes is better than mass a mass invasion of Iran. Is all I'm saying.
Or no, worse, a mass invasion of my fucking country.
Well,
I
that
don't-
too. That too.
I care
Yeah.
about my country first. I very much have overlap with projects here.
Ardy,
Most
they're
important
not they're not invaders. They're just refugees looking for a better life, bro.
Yeah. Well, the way that they look is really violent and stinky. Look in a nice
They're looking
white
for
way.
that better life inside your house at 3 a.m. By the way.
Yeah, or in the back of my skull.
Did come for $10.
Oh,
Thank you very much, mate. Unfortunately, Tucker, you only had 10 words. We were looking for 14. Oh, Tucker's 14 points.
That's a fucking
Hilarious.
banger, dude.
New gem for $10.
Oh, yeah, bruv.
Thank you, Nooch. I live in a state that raises the minimum wage everywhere. Orders accomplished is lowering my buying power. Correct.
Yeah. See, we don't need any libertarians around here to know that. Okay.
The system working as designed. TNR FNV gifted 5 memberships.
Okay.
Thank you very much, mate. Sunday Math for $5. You missed my last post. Furry baguette joke was in reference to the fan art I made for last AnF.
I don't have. You gotta find the fan art. I forget it. I forget what it was. I made a lot of content over the weekend. Somebody has to pull it up and show me in the Telegram.
Killer Bunnies gifted 10 memberships.
And
Holy
just
crap.
like
Now
that,
the Chad
fellas.
does what the Chad wants, and no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
Thank you, fellas who have donated memberships. If you want to just remove the money bags for a second, what I'm going to recommend is the Lore. Okay, it's a playlist. It's embarrassing. It's me debating blacks about the N-word. I say the N-word, 2019. It's me. This was edgy for my friend group. Me constantly talking about the blacks. Okay? So I had to go onto my computer and go, I swear I'm not going fucking crazy. I can prove everything. And so there's a lot of very creative videos of me from 6 to 8 years ago? More than 6, 7. Where's the time go, Fist? Continue. Thank you so much, fellas. I appreciate it. For adding to the embarrassing of me.
Let me see. Luigi got shrooms, became a member. Aw, thanks very much, Luigi.
I want to get bruv. There's some weird things ahead.
Super Chat's chiefed. Let's get on to the Fro Jacks, shall we?
Oh, Lord. Oh, yeah, they were doing debate prep and just having us on the background, which was pretty cool. And I was trying to see in their chat, surely some shit must have been talked. But I want it to be accurate. That they're like, oh, that sounds kind of like F slurry. That's not like radical enough. I didn't see anything though, but it looked pretty good. Somebody actually said, because they were saying Anglo mogging or something like that. And then someone in their chat said fella maxing or something. It was fun. Anyway, so we got Frojax here, and let's have them tackle the fairness principle in the beginning.
Birthright to who? According to the Supreme Court, which is full of people that do not represent us as a people, according to their decision, anybody who's born here.
You will notice that Steven Crowder's message is to a larger, broader audience that still is moving in the direction that we want to move in. Don't forget, the left and the moos will take the smallest wins on their way to their overarching goal. Okay?
Bump it up to 1.25.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, good call. Yep. And so they are radicalizing the base, I would say, with this. What they're saying is much more true, much more applicable. I don't think it has nearly as wide of a reach. Do we all understand what I'm saying so far? Let us continue.
is deemed an American. And so are those people equally as entitled to the birthright, the inheritance of the American experience as somebody like me or you watching whose family has been in this country for generations? Who actually deserves to inherit that birthright? If we're saying that the birthright and the fruits of that birthright are to be equally allocated, that's actually unfair. So this is an inherent contradiction. There is no such thing as fairness. We have to put our people first. That variable of birthright needs to be clearly defined, but somebody like Tucker Carlson will never do it. Why? Because there's a racial connotation, and that's not popular to talk about. Like historical.
This is correct. I agree with them completely.
Yep.
However, I understand why he would do it. But yes.
And this is my point, right? The powers that be are going to ignore the race issue until the last possible moment.
Yeah.
By the time they do this, you will not be able to use democracy to escape from it, because you will now have so many foreigners in your country that are voting as ethnic blocks. So this is what I'm not espousing accelerationism. I'm just saying that the outcome precludes fixing it through the system that created it.
Yeah.
This is what all the Lindsayites, like, they fucking hate it when you point this out. They hate it. But the process is inexorable is the problem.
I am saying I want our accelerationists to work in conjunction with our incrementalists. Seems like they're not on the same page, but I understand. The whites are going to have this is that's a natural reaction that the whites are having. The whites go, I don't give a fuck. I completely understand that. Okay? I completely understand that. For an amount of time, until there's going to be a point where to get things done, one must give a fuck. Let us think of the rhetoric of Thomas Rousseau and Eric Arval. It's nothing like their rhetoric, now is it? But don't they still talk to them? Yes, they do, but their organizations do not talk like this publicly, right? See what I'm saying? Rhetoric is very important, how you position these ideas.
Revisionism that the founders thought that some Guatemalan could come here and inherit these rights bestowed upon you by God. No, they really acted most in accordance with like something similar to the 88 precepts. They viewed rights as purchases, really things that you had to adhere to a strict set of natural laws in order to maintain across time, right? Because if you do not adhere to natural law, you will forfeit these purchases. Rights is just another word for purchases. There's no such thing as rights. They don't just exist. You have to maintain rights. And if you violate the natural laws of the universe, you will necessarily forfeit those purchases.
There's also a crucial caveat to make an observation about here. When we debate people, one of the regular rebuttals is that they will appeal to the founders and they'll say, well, this founding father didn't believe in the racial realist position, even though they did, and there's plenty of documentation to back it up. But they will make appeals to the founders and they'll say, well, they were less focused on race than you guys were. Number one, it was homogenous back then. But number two, the differences between racial groups was implicitly understood, which is why there's less writing on it, is because everybody...
I think that's a really strong point.
Yeah.
It was implicitly understood. They weren't dividing each other into all... What categories would they divide each other into? We had just left to, like, not divide ourselves into so many categories. We're like, this is good enough.
But just, like, one of the problems about trying to make a system that anticipates all outcomes is that you cannot know how fucking stupid people are going to be 2 centuries later. Or how, like... The idea to the founding fathers that they'd be like, oh, yes, what we need to do is invite in 1 million Pakistanis. None of them would have even considered that as an option. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just, what are you supposed to write down every single possible outcome as though you're talking to a child, and then get the moose to like crawl over it and find every single contradiction and like possible loophole and exploit?
Do you have any experience with like programming language? You have to tell the computer how to you can't. It doesn't have an assume function.
Yeah.
Original coding, you have to literally tell it how to do absolutely everything. And of course, they didn't anticipate how things would go. Especially
government.
Do you think they could tell back then? Like if someone said they weren't a moo and they were kind of a moo, but they're kind of white. I mean, I don't think there was this distinction with moos back then that we have now.
Government.exe has crashed.
Now, they also do bring up natural rights or natural law, which I interpret the way that they're using it in people have a natural... People will divide amongst racial groups. is essentially what that means when they say it, I believe.
Our progenitors in America and in Europe created sovereignty for their posterity to inherit. The founding fathers were very clear on the word posterity, by the way. That means that your children, your family, your bloodline, your kin will inherit sovereignty in the future. That sovereignty, which is our birthright, is currently being taken from us. Our natural rights, which our ancestors fought for us to inherit, are currently being robbed from us. And all you're saying is, let's just try to be fair about it. This point of view, it's arguably treasonous, actually. And young white men will see something like this, and it'll make them want to opt out of society because people like this are their only voice. They're saying, well, your birthright that entitles you to sovereignty, it might be getting robbed from you, but you should still just strive to be fair, be sovereign. What does that mean? It sounds like a focus group handful of words that a bunch of people just picked out because it sounds...
I mean, that is quality feedback there. It does sound like that.
Yeah.
palatable or something like that. This doesn't work. This doesn't work, and it never will.
Productive. A decent country is productive.
I'm actually cringing a little bit.
You make things worth having, from which you derive joy, that improve the lives of other people, or that just are inherently beautiful.
Number one, deport like 50 million people within 4 years, or you're f***ed. Like, that should be point number one. It should just be deport.
Now, I understand this point, okay?
Yep.
I understand this. I understand saying it, right? What I don't understand is people in positions of power, okay? They just want to hear them say this. And as we, discovered with Nick Fuentes, even if they do say whatever you want them to say, you still don't even know that they're going to do it, if they can do it. So there's a lot of, on the pro-white dissident right, of, I just want to hear this thing, and it's like, that's not how it works, dude. You lie. Don't just say you're going to, whatever vague language, if you say that, they're going to do something about you. You can't, how would you do it? I don't care how. He's the politician, he gets it done. That's the most I've actually heard.
Yeah, I mean, look,
in terms of getting it done, right?
You would need an entirely separate law and security hierarchy populated only by whites in order to even start doing this kind of stuff, and it would most definitely result in a civil conflict. Now, I mean, look, this is how the commies do, man, right? It's the fish.
Exactly.
They slide it in slowly, and then and by the time you notice and you try and pull it out, it's wrapped around your kidneys or some shit. They're horrible like that.
I was going to make a dick joke until you said the kidneys, and I couldn't do anything with it.
50 million brown people, or you're fucked. Let's just get to the point. Let's be fair. It's a joke. It's embarrassing.
The juxtaposition between this and the far left are calling for political violence. They're saying they want to tackle.
Also an excellent point, where one side, this is where it feels liberal. One side is being asked to be fair, reasonable, while the other ones are violent. So again, I very much agree here.
White people even more. They're saying they want to deconstruct Western identity. And then you have Tucker Carlson, who's supposed to be the torch is getting passed down from MAGA. He's the next in line. He's going to lead us to victory. What does he say? Let's be productive. Let's be fair. What are you talking about? We're in a spiritual war, and you're telling people to
let's make things.
Just
now, Fist, we are in a spiritual war. However, I'm going to need to hear your feedback on this next statement.
Or reviving, right? So it's people will say, Matt Walsh, they'll say, well, if you bring the third world, they bring the third world with them. They're not saying that these people are biological machines and they're genetically determined to act out third world characteristics in the first world. They're saying that they're bringing a set of ideas along with them that, unless trained otherwise, will continue to act out these ideas. That has to just be destroyed. That has to be completely destroyed. And I'll be honest with you, I'm just going to say it. The current version of Christianity that most right-wing people are currently appealing to is keeping that alive, because there's this idea that we all have this metaphysical soul that in the eyes of the Almighty God is somehow equal, and we can all appeal to, the 10 Commandments, and we can all act in accordance with the teachings of Christ, even though people very clearly have varying abilities to act in accordance with anything, let alone teachings that are best practiced by people who have a psychological temperament most aligned with those teachings. So to think that we should just ignore the biological realities of race or anything else, it's so devastatingly.
Now, this is curious to me because I know a lot of pro-whites that Christianity is a very close second.
Mm-hmm.
And so then there's also pro-whites. Frojacks, they say they're deists, what is a deist exactly?
It means you believe in
agnostic,
some kind of
or
God.
You do believe It's a step past
it's
agnostic.
It's like agnostic. Now, look, I get what he's saying, but there is no reason why you can't have Christianity and also make delineations on race. Now, it's true that it's, you know, been taken out a lot by like modern versions of Christianity. I would say that part of the reason why that's become so strictly universal. Listen, you didn't used to have this idea of sort of, you know, I guess convert all the savages, although I guess it has happened in Africa and stuff. I guess the question I would ask them is, what is your alternative?
Yes.
Right? Paganism, atheism.
This is where exactly. This is the eternal. This might be more difficult than the abortion debate, to be honest with you, too.
Yeah,
really
I mean,
hard to rectify.
It's one of those things. I think I've talked about this before, where certain systems have great strengths, but in certain circumstances, they also become great weaknesses.
So now they are excellent accelerationism. They will need Christianity to sustain their momentum long term, in my opinion. Okay, what they're doing now is way better for accelerationism, and here's the only reason why I say this. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, an example of how race mixing works. Okay, now a lot of your biological determinists, right, think that when a black person and a white person make a kid, it just gets into this squishy color, right? And then we start looking at the comments, and it's like, this is what they think. They think that's what it is. Gray silicone. Now, my issue with this is that's not how it works. Literally, Dinesh D'Souza's fucking grandkid would be allowed in fucking Return to the Land. Okay? So with their biological determinism, and it's so strict, and the purity is so much, where it's like, who are you ultimately appealing to? What percentage of the population? Because they've had conversations with people that are like, I'm 80% white, but he doesn't look like it. And then it's like, well, you don't really look white. And, you know, on one hand, they want to assume power, but on the other hand, their answers are, we'll figure it out when we get there, right? Like,
I mean, look,
it doesn't seem entirely ironed out for wanting to run everything.
If it was down to me, right, if I was declared emperor, I would institute national IQ and DNA testing simultaneously. I think ignoring IQ is a very, very big problem in this, right? Like, and I think really this is a big part of the determining factor. Okay, so no one wants to get rid of Thomas Sowell.
Hold on just a second. Now, what are you appealing to? He has even talked to our TTL people. Based on looking at the kid who has blue eyes and blonde hair, okay? Without knowing that it's Dinesh D'Souza is the grandfather, okay? Without knowing that, and let's say this is in whatever fucking 20 years, okay? It's based on, okay, so then it's not that, then are we doing a DNA test? The Mott Bailey with the biodeterminist, we go from, it's not skin color, dude, it's genetics. Then you show them someone that looks completely white, like, no. But then they'll talk to someone that's 80% white but looks Hispanic, and they're like, well, you don't look white enough. I don't know. There's very hard answers with Christianity to carry this through.
So
there's going to be some wars going on.
So this is why I think you need to test for IQ. Now, there used to be sort of like natural ways to do this, okay? Like, you know, university or stuff like that, right? The school system, you used to take like the brightest kids, you put them through school before the civil rights movement dealt the final blow to all of that. If you like look at people like Thomas Sowell, Clarence Thomas, other like, you know, really high IQ blacks, okay? There might not be that many of them, but they're perfectly capable of existing in civilization. I think IQ is the big underappreciated thing that's going on here. Although, I don't know, man. I see what they're getting at about Christianity and its universalism. And what can be a great strength can, in certain positions, become a great weakness. But I think paganism is also fraught with exactly these same weaknesses and has many more of them. For example, How do you stop a war if you're like pagans? How do you stop human or animal sacrifice? How do you stop trafficking with demons? None of these things are forbidden among paganism. And
Yep.
so if it starts like spreading like wildly, you're going to get all kinds of fucking like crazy shit. Now, I guess they might reply, well, how can it be worse than the shit we have now? Well, I don't know. If you start widespread animal and human sacrifice, you know, or like, you know, messing with like demons, like what makes you any different from the Moos, really, fundamentally?
But what is the maximum amount of people that they can appeal to? It's going to be people that have to look white, be white, and agree with them. So that leaves out a lot of the white commies. Do you see what I'm saying? That their demographic it seems very small that they would be appealing to, though radicalized. But that's why that like this wouldn't be like I don't know what national policy or like what national politics comes out of this, which is why I say this is like highly efficacious locally. But just,
well,
yeah.
there is so there is another possibility, which is that if you got rid of the Civil Rights Act and you just allowed like whites to have whites only cities, then you would probably develop like various, you know, new cities where like everything was like nice, like Irania. Now, the reply to that would be, okay, but like, you know, why should we abandon New York and abandon LA? Are you going to go door to door? Who are you going to hire to go door to door through Compton or through Dearborn, Michigan? Like, is that the plan? You're going to make like an all white paramilitary force, and you're going to go door to door and like, listen, I just don't see that being a plausible outcome. But you know, like, you know, I can't see the future. I'm just saying I see, again, I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh, well, what's your solution?
No, there's not one solution.
My solution fundamentally is that you should have different gradated levels of citizenship, and the people who vote have to, you know, you could say like landowners, they've got to be above a certain IQ. They've got to have like some kind of like family connection to America, maybe like, you know, more than a certain percentage white. And those are the people that can like vote, they can hold power, they can do all this kind of other stuff. And you can have like a second level of citizens who are like, you know, unmolested, but they can't hold office or any of that kind of like stuff. But that would take a while.
My issue is that a lot of them seem to be more extreme than Mustache Man in terms of this. Okay.
Well, yeah,
that's my issue, is that being more extreme than Mustache Man, and it's like, what? Okay, I don't know how you're gonna. I don't know. I don't see how it works out. Being too stringent. I see how it works on a small scale, and that's very necessary and needed.
Listen, man, I understand it. Okay, right. The time is very, very late. Okay, and everyone is freaking the fuck out and casting around for solutions. I totally get that. I don't know, man. The amount of reconfiguring of these Western systems that you would need to do in order to get any of these outcomes is massive and would basically result in civil conflict. Because there is no freaking way the Moos or the left are just going to be like, oh, well, we'll just let that happen. You know, they'll be like, oh my God, someone trying to do a heckin' chungus fascism, right? They'll take up arms and all this kind of other shit. Now, I don't know, maybe after the smoke clears or something, it'll all be like better, but also maybe not. I don't know.
So let's continue where this made me fucking laugh pretty hard out loud, because they start getting completely fed up.
Or strong enough to create a real political coalition. Nobody's going to be animated or energized by this. This kind of rhetoric is not going to boost the morale of the troops.
I know, but the amount of people that you can have on your side that fit your qualifications is not going to be a mass general audience like how the Moos will advocate for stuff where the left does. And I understand that you don't care at all whatsoever. But do you see the point that I'm making? Where like what is the total amount of people they could possibly appeal to with the exclusions that they have? So that's why I'm saying it makes sense for this to be a thing that is done locally and across the country. But I don't know how it would be.
So
implemented.
look, so this is one of the reasons. For example, I really don't like internecine fighting, right? Like Marla coming out and saying we need to kill the Orthodox leadership, right?
Oh, you didn't like that? Okay.
Right? No, I didn't. Like, and not just because I'm Orthodox, because this is fucking stupid. We have got really fucking serious problems, and you're like, that's your bloody focus. Like, it would be better if the Christians worked with the pagans and worked right, and you have these various groups and you form some kind of like coalition. Okay, it might not be durable long term, but at some point, everyone's gonna have to fucking put down their shit and work together.
Well, yeah, I mean, Frojax is definitely trying to work together with people, 100%.
Yeah,
and
I support that. I totally support that.
100%.
And I'm not going to be one of those people who's like, you don't believe in Christianity. I'm not going to work with you. Fuck that. Fuck that noise. No, I am absolutely fucking serious.
You've seen a lot of that, right?
What the fuck? What you just said? You don't believe in my particular denomination of Christianity. We can't work together. I guess I'll go back to bed and prepare for the black tide. Fuck off.
Right. Well, I'll just continue.
If you want to build a real political coalition, you have to cut through the fourth wall and tell people this is what's happening. And yes, it does have to do with race.
The next thing that America needs to be, and it's worth saying so out loud, is healthy.
Eat your veggies. Hey, guys. I know that Somalians are overrunning your inner cities, and I know that blacks are destroying public spaces, but you need to eat your tomatoes and lettuce.
Eat your fruits and veggies, guys.
It's not shameful to want that.
Oh,
see that little thing.
Oh my god!
Isn't that fucking incredible?
Holy shit, man!
That's what I'm saying. They do a good job of capturing how fucking awful things are, and it's like, eat your tomatoes and lettuce. Things are very dire, definitely.
Fucking
That's so gay.
Dude.
He should just be saying, take it.
That little thing he does. It's not shameful to want that.
That's so gay.
Dude.
He should just be saying, take it. Sometimes take it, white man.
Sometimes I'm like, does he believe what he's saying? Does he actually I think he might.
I don't trust this guy. I don't think he's authentic. I don't buy it for a second.
Another thing you'd like America to be is honest.
Okay. Everybody just take a moment. Everybody just breathe.
Mind you, they've been doing this for like, a good fucking 20 minutes at this point. And they're like, they're trying.
So listen,
what's so funny is,
he's apparently in the chat, actually.
I can see them watching it. Yeah.
We should talk. We should totally talk. I reckon that'd be like a great stream.
As long as you're there to de-autism my fucking statements, okay?
Yeah.
Trust me, Frojax, my fucking audience hates me too, okay?
It'd be great, man. Like, do you know how to reach out to them?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, awesome.
So yeah, we'll continue. We're hopping off in like 15 minutes, but we gotta read what he says.
Okay, so I would like America to be honest. So can we just like get on to the honesty? And I'm not saying that anything he's set up to this point is dishonest, but he's either intentionally or naively omitting crucial information and insights that would further aid a revitalization of what America should be or how to save America. We're just sort of like skirting past the obvious thing. The very first thing is you got to deport like 50 million people, frankly.
Thank you so much, Frojax. There's no beef. Thank you. I'm a weird character on the internet. Okay, so definitely 100%. We'll fucking set things up. We do Tuesdays and Thursdays. We can find another day during the week for us to have this conversation. Yeah. Me and Fist have varying opinions on this. You guys are much more cohesive in your opinion, so that would be awesome content. And honestly, I've been having these conversations like between, bridging the gap with like fucking pagans and Christians, and yeah. So I didn't expect that, but fucking awesome. Let's continue.
Unless there's a political candidate that's like, I'm going to deport 50 million people in like 3 years, I'm not going to vote for you. And you have to be white, and you have to talk about how Indians smell.
Yeah.
And then you have to deport 50 million people. Otherwise, you're not getting a vote from me.
There's nothing honest about this guy at all. You can do a surface level of scrutiny and find out that.
Do you see how done he is with Tucker and his fucking milk toast opinion?
Listen, how's this for an idea? Okay, right? You can have like at the ballot centers, right, where you go for your heckin' wholesome election, right? You can have like a special like smell tester He sniffs you. I know you can get like a golden retriever or like some like what's the whitest breed of dog there is? I don't know. I'm going with golden retriever, right?
Yeah.
And if the golden retriever doesn't like you, you don't get to vote. That is my solution.
They can sniff it. They can sniff it out, you know?
Yep.
He's embedded himself into the technocracy and that his dad worked in the CIA, which he lied about on record, by the way. There's nothing honest or authentic about this guy. And worse, he pretends to be those things and lectures you about it. This person does not represent your interest, and he never will.
The next thing you'd like America to be, we should demand that America is optimistic.
This has rapidly gone from disappointing to
insulting.
It's gone from disappointing to insulting, but now it's just gay. It's gay.
I like how he goes through the stages of gay. Not the stages of grief. It's the stages of gay.
They called me gay. What is that? Gay?
Dude, what's so funny is like I've seen them like for an hour and a half talk to a black and like really keep their shit together. But like right now with Tucker, they're like, okay, you have a higher standard. You're a white. You know what you're doing. Okay, you know what you're doing. You're smart enough to know what's going on.
Getting gay. Does anybody actually buy this?
Why are people optimistic? Well, because, of course, they're hoping for a better future. But why are they thinking about the future at all? That put them in stark contrast to our leaders, who, given their ages, don't have much of a future, chronologically.
I think at like number 6, they're like, okay, we need 10. We need 10. What's like a positive word? Optimism. Okay, optimism isn't just an exertion of will. It is a product of systems.
This is like if like a focus group gave like 10 words about populism and then they put it into a box and put it into like a toy assembly and then sold it at Toys R Us.
Can you press the button?
You know what it is. I bet you any fucking money, right? It's Tucker, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Joe Kent, right? They're all sitting around a fucking table at like Tucker's house. They're having like a fucking delicious meal, and they're like, "How do we get through to people? Like, why don't people? What is that? You know?" Just oh my god.
Oh my god. Well, because I watch Frojax's content, so I know like how more in depth that they go, and they're sitting here being like, "What am I? Is this like some sort of it's like a political Hallmark card? It's like one word, optimistic, but not the optimistic that you're used to hearing. It's like a systematic optimism, and it's like, how are you optimistic about the system?
It's a different kind of Are you ready for the optimism?
Optimism.
People are thinking about the future, making plans for the future.
People are making plans about the future. You ever think about that?
Generations that think in terms of what might exist after I'm gone, that are rooted in some sort of historical continuity.
Whoa, hold on, historical continuity.
I love this. They're like, oh, my ears are perking up now. So how are you going to talk about the truth while walking around it? I wonder.
Maybe he's onto something. Maybe he's onto something.
All right, let's see if he can take it full circle
together
with his armpit stains.
From earnings report to earnings report, because it's thinking based on what a share price reflects. That's not to say that's insignificant. It is significant to some extent.
So you're doing the economic thing. It's economic populism. It's everyone's unhappy because things are expensive. It's like, dude, I don't really care about the price of gas. I want the Mexicans put in vans.
This is like stand-up comedy for right-wingers. Him saying this on a stage would fucking kill in certain fucking areas. Dude.
Right. But Frojax, I can't tell the difference between them. Sorry, guys.
It's
you realize you're going to need gas to put in those vans, right?
Oh, this is good.
Economic argument is very, very important, you know?
This is good. This gives them something to chew on before we talk. This is nice.
And actually in a circuitous manner that will help with the price of gas.
And if it doesn't, I don't care. How about that? I don't care if gas...
This is why I divide people into Christ first, race first, okay? The race first is very present. It is number one for these guys. Number one by a long shot. Also, very understandable.
Doubles. I want the Mexicans out. The basis upon which you build a society isn't economic.
Start to think like that. What do you get? You get what you have now. You have looting.
It's almost like he's using all of these other words to like represent what actually needs to be said. Like optimism, you should care about your posterity and your children, i.e. white people should collectivize. When we don't have that, we have economic despair and looting. So you mean like black people? Like, it's just like, dude, just say it, man. You know what my main takeaway from this is? I mean, there's a lot of different realizations.
Yeah, no, I agree, right? You have at some point, right? Somebody has to fucking say it. Okay, that like these are essentially like biological problems. You see this in the UK like all the fucking time. It drives me crazy. They just act as though all the people in Somalia are just English people wearing like boot black on their faces. Like, oh, we don't want to make it about skin color. Dude, no one is talking about skin color, right? This is the like, oh fuck. It's like they're like, oh yes, John from Worthington put some boot black on when he got up this morning, and now he's a Somalian. No, he
Right.
fucking isn't.
To be had. But the main takeaway I have here is that this will not work as a political strategy because you're simply telling people what they want to hear. It's like a bunch of dog whistles and presuppositions that you don't want to acknowledge, overshadowed by this nice focus group packaging, but you don't want to actually directly discuss.
Oh my God, look at the time. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
skip my last timestamp. And I think this is going to cap it off pretty good.
Opposed to what you're subtly hinting at, already thinks you're like a Joseph Goebbels level Nazi. So just go all the way, bro.
A lot about America's disunity is already baked in the cake. And so arguments about immigration, while relevant, won't change the mix of America, which is, again, a country without an overwhelming majority of any one thing. So in the absence of that, and the absence of an organic, obvious identity, one will have to be created in order to keep the country together.
Yeah, so basically, we've lost our dominant ethnic core. So instead of deporting all the people who don't belong to the actual nation, which by definition, since you're so serious about those, Tucker, would mean a people, then we have to just sort of impose something that's more idealistic on top of it that represents all these conflicting nations within the country's borders, not actually have a nation to begin with. We just have to appeal to a set of transcendental ethics and principles that only white people really reliably can appeal to in order to maintain a
Now, he said it
Yeah.
perfectly. He said
Yep.
reliably. He already built in the exceptions into what he said because he's had this
No, but-
conversation so many times. Reliably is the key word there.
Not only that, this has been tried. Look at the UK. Okay, that is
I'd rather
exactly
not.
what they have been trying in the UK for ages, and they have defaulted to this thing called British values, which is like literally, it's a mile wide and half an inch deep. You can
Yep.
skip a fucking stone off. It's like, ugh, you believe in like the rule of law, and like, dude, like these. I'm like
The rule of the two-tiered law.
I'm reminded of that meme. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like on 4chan. It's like, so I'm like, ew, yeah, I will do this, and the other guy's like, dude, I'm a fucking ninja. I'm just gonna kill you. They're not. No one's like, oh yes, we must really think of the finer points of philosophy here. No, they're not doing that.
Well, this is why I've talked about considering Christianity kind of like a white ethno-religion.
Yeah.
That's where it seems to work the best, and then people have said, oh, white people didn't create it. And I go, well, they've done the most with it, no matter what you're going to say, okay? They seem to do the most with it. And then, I mean, how do you explain biblical concepts to an African person? It seems
you
like
can actually see this very, very clearly, because Christianity morphs very severely depending on what racial group it is, right?
Yes.
Like, so like black churches are black churches for a reason. Okay, you don't right? Like they didn't import like white Christianity into black areas. Chinese churches, same kind of like thing. So again, yes, the universalism, but there are still differences, and I think it's only like the really retarded social justice Christians, right? Like the sort of Mill adjacent ones that are like, yeah, because of Christianity, we have to let the Moors invade. No one is fucking, no actual proper Christians are saying that. Well, I mean, in my opinion,
right.
You can look, I could go around, put on a dress and be like, oh, I'm a lady now. It wouldn't make
that sounded
me
really
a
natural
lady.
for you.
Yeah,
Chris.
shut the fuck up.
You got
right?
the hair for it.
My point is this: I could then coerce 100,000 people to also say that I am a lady. It still wouldn't make me a lady. And you can deceive and coerce all of these people to say like, oh yes, Christianity is about like giving up everything you own and letting the Muslims like take your land and grape your daughters. That still wouldn't make it Christianity. Would be my counter.
Let's go to the Soupies. That was cool, man, and they just rated us. That's fucking cool.
That's
honestly,
cool.
I'm honestly like hesitant to debate with biological determinists. That's really what it comes down to. Because I've seen a lot of the biodeterminists online, and they don't like my ideas at all. It gets them mad, though. Frojax doesn't get mad, so hopefully they can help further delibify me, right? As I've said, this year-long journey I've been on has happened very quickly.
I think it'd be pretty cool, actually. I like to hear different ideas, particularly from other whites.
I know, right?
Okay, so we got a couple more super chats. Tacit Tempo for $5. Thank you, mate. Race is a referent. It is a concept, but it refers to a real classification. If it had no purpose, why would God make differences between us? Good point.
Well, someone in chat said that the Bible says no race mixing because of the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, well, that's right. And Bible's always talking about different peoples and stuff like that. Even in the Gospels, if you get past the Old Testament, it's very, very clear. They make all of these distinctions between the Greeks and the Moors and and but things get complicated, unfortunately, which I think is basically your argument, right? Are you gonna throw the Happer cutie who's all 1488 inside my pants out the window and be like, oh, you're not. And she comes up and she's like, I want to have beautiful white babies with you. And be like, get out. Get away from me.
I think a crux of our, I don't know what the miscegenation talk is going to be like. No one's really heard me fucking talk about it. But I think a crux of our disagreement is going to come down to, I think that we need help of the support of the non-whites, as I've said before. I think we're going to need all the help that we can get. And as I've said many times before, there's a lot of white people that aren't considered white enough that want to support the pro-whites. And the left and the moos have a way of integrating them in while still excluding them or something, right? So the left will have a message that seems universal, right? And so I think we're going to need as much support as humanly possible. And there's a shitload of non-whites that do want to support the whites, and we call them nons and act like they're. I don't want to push away people that want to support us because we're like, well, no, fuck you. I don't give a fuck about you. That's what it comes down to, is making it a larger tent while still retaining who you are, so to speak.
Tacit Tempo for $5. The reason Frojax doesn't care about mass appeal is because they think the small group they would make will be highly effective and still end up winning. Okay, I can see that.
Well, they're
embracing white excellence. I can get behind that.
They're also relatively new, and they have been doing an incredible job with getting. They don't just sit on their ass though. They actually went to fucking July 4th with Patriot Front. On top of talking to Jared Taylor, they actually travel. I forget where it was. They were talking to a pagan. They had a pagan conversation, but they're getting off their asses and they're actually traveling. Okay, so they're not fucking around. They are hitting the ground running, and there's just something about the biological determinism, dude. I was calling myself a liberal civic nationalist a year ago. It's in my bones for 39 years. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
Maybe. Yeah.
And final tip chat of the night, Matty Ice for $5. Thank you very much, mate. What do you guys think of the term clustering behavioral dispositions in terms of talking about the stuff to the uninitiated? Yeah, I mean,
see? Now we're thinking, okay?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Now we're fucking lying. That's the kind of lie I like to hear right there.
I mean, the problem is that, again, you still, among the normies, you always have to default back to culture. It's clearly not culture, right? Like how fucking obvious does this have to fucking be? If the reason why they default back to culture is that in the post-war period, with the advent of television and all this kind of other stuff, the amount of cultural engineering that was done was massive. And the left came to believe, because of sort of earlier stuff, that, there is no fundamental biological human. It's the blank slate. We can mold you with enough television and enough cattle prods to the testicles, right? You will be whatever it is that we want you to be. But it's not. And you can't maintain that kind of fucking coercion forever. Like, and you can't get people to believe in it. This idea that you can rule an internal society through the boot and the testicle shock prod is bullshit in my opinion. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, mate.
All right, mate.
So I was on the Crucible Extravaganza yesterday, which
Nice.
is on their Rumble. At some point, Fist may also go on there as well. Don't have a confirmation on that yet, but what we do have a confirmation on, fellas, is it's on, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew Wilson sent the 300 grand.
Oh, this is going to be huge.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait.
Rogan offered neutral ground. Candace said no. Wait a minute. What is
what's
going
going
on? That is
Sorry about that.
interesting. Okay, I have to look at that after. We have some updates right there.
I wanted to
Sorry.
play this.
Oh my god.
Before we go out.
What was this in reference to beforehand?
So this is a streamer called Meatball, who is she was like in the BLM protests, right, doing a heckin' wholesome chungus like looting, and I used this sample in the intro to Happening TV, which was like my old show. It's been a while. It's like I think like a year and a half, and I just love this, right, because she's just like, everyone must eat. Because everyone's gonna eat off this debate.
Because of the debate. We were talking about that beforehand and how we're all gonna be eating off of that. The debate has to happen because we're all gonna fucking eat off of it. That's what it was.
Send me $1 or I'm getting off. I should have 1,100 in my shit right now. 1,100. 1,100. Oh shit. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat.
Andrew Wilson, Candace Owens, everybody must eat.
Everybody must eat.
That's hilarious, dude.
Must eat. Right. Okay.
Right, mate. That's too good.
All right. Well, thank you everyone who sip chatted. We will be back on Friday.
Yes.
Right. If I'm on Crucible, I mean that would be awesome. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in.
Yeah, we'll probably
do
the Frojax thing at some point by the end of the month.
Yeah.
We're some busy little beavers now. Fellas, I got to go be a busy little beaver. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging.
Good night, bros.